FunPop. FunPop.
Hey, oh shit, now this is all different now because Kate wasn't here earlier and now she left. Oh my god, it's all messed up. What's up, everybody? This is FunPop. Welcome to episode number, I don't know what it is. I think Kate probably knows what it was if she put it on there. Yeah, 47.
47.
Oh my gosh. We've almost done 50 episodes. I didn't even realize. I was going to say like 19, 20, but 47. Holy crap.
1920.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess FunPop's the second show that we started, right?
Yeah. I think it was Ultimate, FunPop, and then all the other shows.
Right on.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that just 47. Wow. Yeah, well, almost at episode 50. Then we'll have to have like a special episode 50 thing, I guess, when we hit that.
Maybe we'll get Sarah Bond on the show.
Sarah Bond.
She's a big Marvel.
We can get Kevin Feige. I mean, this is more of a
Marvel.
Yeah,
movie.
we'll get Kevin Feige.
Anyway, when he comes back from his retreat.
Well, we're gonna visit him today on his retreat because Kevin Feige, I guess, is planning the next 10 years with the creative teams over there at Marvel, and they're chilling on the beaches and having some fun, sipping on some Mai Tais, So maybe we can kind of piggyback and give them our ideas on what we want for the next 10 years of the MCU. So we know what they kind of have planned. Psycho's got it behind them right now, from leaks and rumors and all this kind of stuff. And also they did kind of lay out with the next phase. But I want to know what's after. I want to plan it out. I think they could use some help.
Secret Empires.
And here, as always, is my amazing friends and panel here. We got 3-Bit. Made it today. Thanks, 3-Bit. What's up, dude?
Hey, man. I might be working during the show, but yeah, it's been crazy week. But I think there's a lot more news this week than last week, so
yeah,
I'm excited to get into some of those.
We may not cover any of it. We'll see. Now we're going to cover some of it. Yeah, we'll cover.
I mean, there's breaking news before we went live. Star Wars Celebration announced
Star
today.
Wars Celebration schedule.
They announced the Avatar title.
Yeah, the Avatar title. There's the Barbie thing.
Yeah, Barbie. So, but yeah, good to be here.
Yeah.
Hello, people.
Then we got the mellow fellow, the vitamin boy himself, Psycho Knots. What's up, man?
What's up? Hey, how's it going? I haven't watched episode 6 yet of
5.
Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no,
6 is the finale.
I'm sorry. I was on the Halo live stream earlier, and they're talking about episode 6 during the live stream, so that's where.
Yeah.
So episode 5 of Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And then at midnight, then we get Halo.
Yeah, episode 6. Night. Be nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
They
forward
said
to
it's
that.
going to be good.
I did stay up and watch Moon Knight last night.
Same.
I did not. I caught up on Halo finally, though.
I have a lot of questions still. I think we're gonna.
Yeah.
It's episode 6. I think we're gonna have a lot of payoff. So we'll see. Right now I don't know what the hell's going on, but Jasper the realist, the lore master himself, maybe he knows what's happening from all of his lore information and knowledge.
I watched Moon Knight. Still confused, like I think everyone else is.
Yeah.
I've also been watching Batman vs Superman and Shazam, so I've been getting my DC movies on recently. That's what I've been doing.
Cool. I've seen a lot of that in our DMs and stuff. Like all you guys are going back watching all the DC movies now, and kind of like thinking, oh, these weren't as bad as we all made them out to be. Is kind of what I've been seeing a little bit of. Are you in that same boat as well?
Yeah, I kind of like watching Batman vs Superman. I like the whole world that they've kind of set up, like the physical like world where you like Metropolis and Gotham is right next to each other, and it's like they fly between. I really like that. Just makes the world feel bigger.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. overall. I'm real curious on that, but I just realized because of this whole setup, I got like the FunPop logo and 3-bits background.
Yeah, I
It
thought
looks-
you were just gonna go with this overlay, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
It's on my right.
No, it's on the other
over.
shoulder actually.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
this was actually like a lot different just a minute ago. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna adjust this on the fly here. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna see what this looks like. Oh
Shazam!
wait, no, wrong one. Here we go.
And then Psycho transforms into a little boy right on stream.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna boom. That looks better. I like that better. That's not too bad,
What
huh?
Is that some trees?
Yeah,
got some trees
we're on an island retreat. This is what Kate was working on that I couldn't get uploaded into Restream. So, yeah,
It's
cool.
like Kate says in the chat,
It's relaxing.
I loved Shazam. That is one of the few superhero movies that she really actually does like a lot. So
That's cool. Yeah, that's rare for Kate to like some superhero movies. I
Yeah.
think, right?
oh, very rare.
Yeah.
I mean, she likes Guardians of the Galaxy, because of the humor. You know, there's a lot of humor. I think she liked the second one a lot. She likes,
The comedy one so far. Shazam
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
but she didn't like
Guardians.
Suicide Squad.
What about
Squad was kinda
Thor?
shit anyway.
Yeah. What about Thor Ragnarok?
I don't know if
Wait,
she's
that's not
seen
out
Thor
yet.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, it is. That's Thor Ragnarok's third.
Oh,
I
wait,
think
that's
it's
the second
Love and
one,
Thunder.
Okay.
Love of
Yeah.
Thunder.
I don't know if she's
Yeah,
seen
that's a
it.
pretty funny
She
one.
may like that one because it is kind of fun.
Yeah.
she said, "Cheesy."
Which one was?
So you
cheesy?
did watch it?
hate Thor? Or she hates Thor.
Pizza.
I
Oh.
guess he did.
But he was different in that one.
Yeah,
I like
He was
Korg is like my favorite part of that movie.
Yes.
Right?
It's like, oh,
She
Hello,
likes
friend.
the Iron Man.
he's such
movies.
a calm voice.
It's Pony Master 5000. He says he's gonna kick my ass.
This is my friend Caesar. He likes to play games. He's scissors. This is ends.
Yeah, I like
that's
Thor
the,
Ragnarok.
isn't that
That was
Waika
hilarious.
Tatiti? That's what is his name?
Yeah.
Waika Tatiti.
Taika
Taika Waititi.
Night-
I said Waika Tatiti. It's Taika Waititi, right?
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, that's his voice. Okay. Anyway, guys, so as you can see, we are on a resort right now. We have palm trees and lots of Marvel characters behind us, you know. And what are we gonna do with these things? You know, we got 10 years to plan out. 10 years to plan out of the MCU. And, you know, I would say that, you know, we had, what year did Endgame come out? Was that like 2019? I think.
Yeah.
18?
Maybe 18?
19.
19?
No, it was 19.
Okay,
I got
so
it right.
2019 was like the you know, the Endgame, it was kind of like the magnum opus, the finale, the big shebang of that whole first saga, right? The Infinity Saga. And then we've had kind of like over the last several movies now, what have we had so far? We've had Black Widow, we've had
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, we've had
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi and
Eternals.
And we've
Doctor
had the
Strange
shows.
next week.
Yeah, we've had the shows. We have Doctor Strange coming. But I would say, like, so far this whole phase going into this next era has been a little bit more up and down with less like hype building the beginning of the last phase, right? But we're already all more invested, you know. So let's say like we just kind of like put what they just did out of our minds a little bit, because if we have to take all that into account, it's gonna like lock us in. Or no, we can take it into account. I don't know. You can do whatever you want, but I want to know what the next 10 years looks like. And now that's like 4 movies a year. So you got to name 40 movies. I'm just kidding. That's like, no, that is seriously, that's like 4 movies a year. And that's probably like 3 or 4 shows a year. Also, that's crazy if you think about compared to the first saga, like how much we got. Cause we got what, like 20 movies out of that?
Yeah.
Now you put
Um,
in, and that lasted from 2011 or so to
it
2019.
start like Iron Man was the
It was
first one, right?
2006
2006?
or 7 or
2008.
2008.
2008. So it lasted 11
So-
years.
Yeah.
So
Well,
the,
if you
I'm
Count
counting from
Hulk.
Iron Man. Oh,
Right.
if
you
you, if
count
I
from
count
Iron
Hulk,
Man,
it's still 2008.
Oh, okay.
so Hulk was
was it
2008.
8?
So that's
Yeah, but
11 years, right? So that's about encompassing a decade. I'll just an extra year, but encompassing a decade, right? So out of that we got like 20 movies, something roughly around there, right? It started like getting more and more, the last several years. We're only like 2 years in, and we've already had like all those movies we just listed, and we've also had the shows, Hawkeye,
27.
27 in this Infinity Saga.
I just looked up. I mean, in general, they produce and release 27. Maybe
Okay.
it's like 20 in the
It's probably like
Infinity
around
Saga.
20.
When
I think
would
it was
you say
23 before in-game. I think
23.
in-game was 23, I think.
Okay, so 20.
when
Yeah,
would
I think
you
that sounds
put
right.
the cutoff of Infinity Saga Endgame? Is that what you
Yes.
ended on? Because some movies go back.
Well, Black
that
Widow's
realm.
kind of a weird one because it kind of fits. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't know if that counts. Like timeline wise, that fits within Infinity Saga, right?
Okay, I guess if you're counting just Endgame, then probably like Jasper said, maybe it's like
23, 24,
23,
whatever it is.
some.
So, and then we got, like I said, the shows Hawkeye. We got
Wanda,
WandaVision,
Falcon,
Falcon Winter
America, or
Soldier,
whatever.
and then now Moon Knight, right? So that's like what, 4 shows,
And Loki.
and Loki,
Yeah.
Loki.
5 shows already. And
What
like,
if?
Eh.
WandaVision.
I don't. What if count? Well, we'll count.
It's
What if.
technically
Yeah,
canon, but
Yes, because we see the one version of Doctor Strange in the trailer of the Doctor Strange 2. So some parts of What If is canon. So I guess you can count it.
Right. So
zombies is going to be happening.
and I would argue that one of these seasons of a show is like kind of equal to like a movie, right?
I
And
mean, but
telling
you
a
also have
story.
like Marvel Agents of Shield, all the Netflix shows. All those are technically canon still too.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
take all that into account, right? They have this huge pace now of like almost like 8 stories a year, right? Maybe more. So what do we foresee them doing over this decade? How do they plan it? So that's why they got to have these retreats. I can't imagine like the debates and stuff that go on in here with where they're going with the creative teams. What characters they want to bring in, what casting ideas they have, like what stories they want to tell. How they want to try and tie in things like mutants and everything like that, like into the universe. And I think they're planning all this out right now. So it's our turn. So I'll take a first volunteer because I'm going to go last. I'm going to cheat.
Okay, I'll go first with what
Okay.
I want. I would like to see them actually do Doctor Doom correctly. Like Doctor Doom is one of the most powerful villains in the Marvel universe,
Yeah.
and he's always just kind of shit in the movies that we've had. So like, I want to see him like rule like the world and like the galaxy like he does in the comics at times, but like we just never get that. So like make
He
him
killed
like
Thanos at one point.
yeah, like he's so strong, and they always just make him fight just the basic Fantastic Four. Like, let's see like more of him. I don't know. That's just where I kind of want to go. Make him a movie villain for a little bit, and then you can lead up into like maybe a Celestial or some shit, or the Secret Wars because he's tied into with that.
Yeah. Well, that'd be a perfect segue into having Galactus as the main
I think
villain.
he's going to be the main villain.
So that's how you can tie Doctor Doom into that, because Silver Surfer, Fantastic Four. So you can tie all that together, and with Galactus, that ties in all these other superheroes and villains. They actually fight alongside to take down Galactus.
Yeah.
So this is like a huge. That's the route they're going. I think it is. But we will see if that's where they want to go right now. I think it is, because they got possibly 12 years 20 years of content that they could go for this saga.
Yeah, I saw
Well, we
maybe-
still have
somebody-
that Kang storyline that they're like working on too.
If they keep the pace, think about it, 10 years, right? That's like double the movies that we got in the Infinity Saga. You know? And then also, if you add all the shows to it, that's going to like pretty much quadruple the amount of stories to be told in this saga
Yeah.
compared to the last, right?
most definitely. It'd be good to see what they bring, what villains are they going to do. A lot of things are with the internals being shown us Celestials. I definitely have a feeling that we'll see Galactus. I think we'll still see Galactus.
Yeah.
That's how I want to be the super main bad guy. Like,
Yeah. Oh
Yeah, I have a
yeah.
feeling they'll do Galactus. Like if I were in the boardroom for Marvel and I was saying, okay, what is next? We clearly know this phase is all about the multiverse. So when you think about the stories that Marvel has with the multiverse, it's going to for sure introduce characters like Doctor Doom, like the Fantastic Four and Galactus. And I think Galactus could be that big bad guy just because he is such a good villain. And he's one of those villains that ties in with other Marvel properties. Like you see the X-Men fight Galactus for the most part. You see Fantastic Four fight Galactus, and then you see the Avengers and stuff like that. So it makes sense to do it from that standpoint, and they can get inspiration from um, probably from Secret Wars. Like I think for the most part, what they'll do is look at Secret Wars and use that as a pivot point on where to go, because that's such a big storyline in the comics, and it even affected other comics that was written because of Secret Wars. Like that's the first comic where Spider-Man got his black suit, right?
Yep.
Was Secret Wars. So they could do a lot with that storyline, and I think that will influence the rest of the Marvel properties. That's what I would do, and I have a feeling they're thinking something similar.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way to bring in the X-Men, if they do, I don't know if they're going to bring X-Force, but possibly X-Force, the real X-Force, not the Deathpool 2 X-Force. That was just a ragbag of team of just...
And what the multiverse
Random
does,
guys.
like,
That's fun. Yeah.
is like you could bring in a lot of characters like the X-Force or X-Men. And then if you need to recast somebody, this is the perfect sort of time to do it. The multiverse, where you have these different versions of characters. Like they really wanted to have Iron Man back, for example, and Robert Downey's like, no, then they could be like, okay, well, it's the multiverse, so we could bring him back. Or X-Men characters from Fox's universe, if they want to bring back certain actors and not bring others, they have the opportunity to do that because
I think
it's the multiverse.
I think we'll find out more about this in Doctor Strange next week, because we know that Professor X is going to be in that. So we'll see how they're going to either tie in the X-Men being a multiverse storyline, or if the X-Men are going to like be in the MCU, like starting there. We'll just have to wait and see how they actually put that in there. But I think we'll learn more about that.
So it seems like all you guys are behind the idea of all roads lead to Galactus, right?
Yeah.
And then, so is that potentially why the Eternals movie was such an important part of the start of the saga? Because that's the introduction of the Celestials, right?
Yeah, like how Thor 2 was an important part of Marvel, but no one really liked that movie.
Yeah,
I feel
an
like
Infinity Stone out of it.
you got a lot out of that movie. I think it's the same with this one.
I think that's why they even went with the art style with the Eternals as well.
Yeah,
It's not that normal, typical. That I think that's why they did it, shot it that way, and how they told the story, because there's something grander coming, but they need to lay down the foundations, and they did they did a good job at it. And if you guys like rewatch it, it really, you start picking up a little things that they hint at what's possibly coming. And now it's really cool that we possibly can see that Celestial just half peeking out of the earth.
Yeah, just in
So-
the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, so they still got to implement that into the MCU.
Yeah.
So it'd be
And
cool to
you
see
know,
how
it's
they-
interesting that like Fortnite had that event, you know, like a month or two ago, and Galactus like was a big part of it, you know, like coming towards the
Oh, that was a
the
cool event.
planet
Yeah.
or whatever. They're not on Earth or whatever it is that they're on the island.
He sucked people into like a black hole or something in that event.
Yeah.
I think.
So, and what I'm wondering is like, so I kind of want to set the stage of like steps, right? Because 10 years is a long time.
Well, I think in Love and Thunder, I think we're going to possibly get a Spider-Man tie-in,
You think so?
because there's a character that they haven't really shown in the trailer, but from the Lego set that I was talking about, he's called Gore. Christian Bale is going to play him, but
Yeah,
he's
Gore.
technically a symbiote, so we could see like a Venom connection between there.
Maybe
He's an
that's where
ancient
that end. Spoiler alert! Where the end credits.
Isn't he
You know,
Gore
from
the
Venom?
Destroyer?
I don't know. I just know it's Gore, Gorr.
Yeah, I think that's Gore the Destroyer. So yeah,
But yeah, I was looking up, and he says he's an ancient symbiote, like connected with like
Yeah.
Venom and all that. So
There's already so many different things going on. It's crazy, dude. We got like that.
Yeah.
We got
He's
we got
very powerful.
symbiotes are a thing now. We got, you know, the whole multiverse is a thing. We got the like time
Oh, they have the
is
picture.
fractured. You know, you got other beings coming in from different dimensions and all this stuff like it's never happened before. Now you got Celestials like wanting to come and
Gore the
potentially
God
destroy
Killer. That's what it
Earth.
is.
You know, like
Yeah, I sent a picture if you want to pull it up.
of Gore.
Oh wait, can I?
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
Oh,
share.
they're
Wait, I can share.
Yeah, you can share.
Oh, let's try this app for the first time.
Yeah, this-
so Dark CMF said that Gore has the weapon of it. His weapon is a symbiote.
same shit.
Gore the
Same shit.
God Killer or God Butcher. God Butcher.
Shout out
That's
to
it, God Butcher.
shout out to Dark CMF. Shout
Actually,
out to
I have no
Dusty
idea how to share.
Uno,
So-
Trinity, Dutch hanging out, back from dead. Thank you all for hanging out.
But what I was getting at is, I think like we might see like them pull in like connections from other like Marvel heroes, like maybe a Spider-Man connection in Thor, and then maybe the X-Men connection will be in Doctor Strange. So we could see him like connect these other characters that aren't already in the MCU, like through smaller movies, and get them bigger picture.
So Dusty says his sword comes from the person who birthed the symbiotes. Okay, right on. So he's got like a symbiote sword.
like this. Do you
That's
see
him
it?
picking up Thor's hammer. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe that's Christian Bale.
That's actually from
crazy.
footage of the movie, like a
Yeah.
behind the scenes thing. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
someone took a picture of it.
Yeah,
That's
how did they
pretty
get
cool.
his
You can
feet
see
to
the
do
symbiote.
that? Like some kind of weird ass shoes he's wearing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have some
Yeah,
leg
they got-
strength for that.
They got
Or
Goku
green
boots.
screened it out or something, just like put him on stilts and green
Yeah,
screened it out.
probably so. Yeah, he's probably wearing some kind of green shoe things, you know.
You could see the symbiote like logo in his chest. Like that's kind of what it looks like, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like the middle of it. It's interesting.
Very, very interesting. 3-bit. So symbiotes. Now the question is like how and when X-Men. Like this is got to be a huge part of this phase. I am convinced there's going to be probably within a few years there will be several different X-Men themed movies, right? And probably maybe some like with individual characters, individual side storylines, and then your main groups, right? And then also the same thing for Fantastic Four. Also the same thing for the Avengers again, you know? I think we're, instead of just, you know, last time it was all about the Avengers, right? Grouping up and then them all becoming a group, and then you had the Guardians and a couple of the side things. But I think this time we're going to have multiple groups forming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that are going to pretty much like tie in all together, and then at the end, potentially for this whole in-game 2 scenario where they have
That's
to
where you
fight
get
off
Secret Wars. where
Galactus,
you
you're
get
gonna see every freaking thing out there, and all the characters from all the dimensions and all the realms and everything coming together to fight this fight. And if they can pull this off, it'll be even bigger than Endgame, right? But I think we're gonna have a slower burn build up to it, and I think that's why a lot of people feel like it's been like off and on so far with the MCU, right?
Well, I mean, we got a slow burn with the original. It took 11 years to get to Endgame. You know, it's like
you're right, but you focus on the biggest characters then, right? So people were like Iron Man movies, or even okay, I take that back because Iron Man wasn't that big when they first started making that, but Captain America was popular. You know, you have when they introduced Spider-Man, it's very popular. You got who else was like you had Thor, I mean you had some big time
but we didn't
names.
get like the big villainies. Like we didn't really know they were fully connected until the first Avengers, like, and then we got the Thanos like teased at the end. But
it wasn't like an end credit scene at the end of Iron
first
Man
Avengers was when you saw
first
Thanos.
Avengers.
Yeah, that was
First
the
Avengers.
fifth or fourth movie, I think.
I think there was like an end credit scene though that showed like Tony Stark being shown.
That was in the Hulk. You saw, I think, a general or something come into a bar and he's like, "Hey, I'm putting
Thunderbolt
together
Ross.
a team."
No, not that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
Ross.
another scene where somebody showed him like footage of all these different like things going on in the world, like with all these other like superhumans and stuff, and he was like, "Whoa." Maybe it was at the beginning of Avengers. I don't remember.
So
I think Nick Fury came in. Was it Iron Man 2?
It was either Coulson or Fury. It was like you need to see this.
I think it was Iron Man 2,
and I think
Pepper
Pepper Potts was like, "No, you need let him show this to you." And then he's like, "I'm going to need the rest of the day. Cancel my appointments or whatever."
I think that was 2.
Yeah, because Iron Man was sitting in the donut, and then they went into the donut shop, and Nick Fury showed him like all the shit. Yeah, and then he made the new element with Captain America's shield like laying on the table.
Yeah, with his father pretty much thought of the element, but he designed it in the
shape of a city.
The layout of the expo that they were from the 70s whatever or 60s something expo, and Tony Stark was like, "Holy shit!" and then fucking threw it up with the scan with Jarvis, and then they figured out the element, and then he was saved.
Yeah, they got a lot to think about because they have so many characters they haven't used yet, and they now have pretty much every Marvel character except really Spider-Man. And I reread some things. I still don't think they have the full rights to Hulk. I thought they did. We did that one show where they might have, but that's one character where I feel like he needs his own movie. I wish they would somehow get the rights to it, but if they do have the rights, I would love to see a Hulk movie. I think that would be great.
I think it's just too late now. He's evolved so much in the movies. Like he's went from Rage to Smart Hulk. It's just like.
But what if you bring in another Hulk from another dimension now? That's
She-Hulk.
You got She-Hulk coming, but you could also like either he could revert back, or
Gray Hulk,
or you could bring in another
Red
Hulk from another.
That's Thunderbolt Ross.
Okay,
Thunderbolt Ross is going to be Red Hulk.
Well, we also have what's the name of the other guy that it was in Shang-Chi.
Abomination.
Abomination. Yeah.
Abomination.
Whatever they said.
So
he was in Shang-Chi. Abomination.
Yeah. So and he's like supposed to be. He's all tight with Wong now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what it all comes together. But my main thing with this is how are they gonna implement these groups? Right? Like, when are we going to actually see an X-Men movie? How is they going to build that up?
Well,
5 years from now.
They said that they're going to individually roll out X-Men, and then they will do a ensemble of X-Men. They don't want to do just right off the rip an X-Men movie.
That's
so
what I was saying. I think we might get small teases of
Oh.
these characters in
we're
like
gonna get
each movie,
Wolverine,
and then
Storm. We already got Xavier coming with
Yes.
Doctor Strange
Doctor
2.
Strange, yeah.
And then we got possibly, Colossus we already saw in Deadpool, so we know that he's around. Who
I
else
think
would they get?
X-Men might
Rogue?
work better as a TV show.
No.
It depends.
Now, I could see
No?
individual character TV shows to set them up that way, but I want an X-Men movie, right? Now, I would
mean, I
also
want
like
one,
I
but-
would like X-Men shows too, but like I want it treated like,
well, it just depends on when it's
biggest.
set, like,
you know.
because like a TV show would work well if it was like Professor X like starting the school and like finding the mutants and like recruiting them slowly.
Yeah, that's what
but
I'm
like
thinking of.
from what we've seen in the MCU, it seems like they've kind of already existed. We just never seen them. You know, I don't know.
Right, and it hasn't become like a big. Like, the thing
Yeah.
about the X-Men is like it's what, like, there's all this politics about X-Men and stuff. About like whether they should be like outlawed, whether you should do like gene
Civil rights
therapy to
inspired.
convert them back to normal, and all these different things, right? Like that's kind of been the big fight between Magneto and Professor X. They both have the same kind of goal in one way, but they have different ways of going about it, right? It was kind of like the whole thing from okay, like Malcolm X is more Magneto, right? And then Professor X is more Martin Luther King, right? That's kind of where I always took that, and I saw that inspiration from, as far as the
That's what
comics
Stan Lee was inspired by.
where it went with, and you had your acceptance of people being different and all this kind of stuff, right? It was a theme through X-Men, and I feel like without that big encompassing like narrative in those movies, the X-Men in itself just becomes like a bunch of characters without the whole theme of what it's all about, right? And I don't want to lose that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to just have like, oh, here's all this other crazy shit going on in this world, and now we have a fucking Wolverine guy, and now we have a Storm, we have all these characters. I want it to have the general theme of what X-Men originally kind of stood for and what it is about,
Yeah.
I don't think we'll get that though.
You
because
don't?
I just think it's just too like that would be too many movies for them to explain it, and they wouldn't have enough. They didn't move the story along, and I think having like 6 X-Men movies, I just think that'd be too many, like over the course of the bigger story.
They're already sort of doing what Jasper was saying. Where we know Xavier, Xavier most likely is in the Doctor Strange 2 movie. So that is the first X-Men character in the MCU, like officially. So that will be the start of what they will do with it, and that's the Illuminati storyline where you have Iron Man and Xavier sort
They've
of
already
like
all
work
existed
together.
for so long and have become like big time names, and you know what I mean? Like
That's
just
the benefit of working in a multiverse. You could do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
right. So maybe there's just like a universe out there, one of that has this whole X-Men thing.
Yeah,
that's
you just
going
get the
on.
Fox universe and bring them over. That's what
Right.
like everything that's happened in the Fox movies. Like that's just
But we
its
don't
own
want
universe.
that either, do we? You know what I mean?
No, I would rather that doesn't exist at all, but it seems like it's going to it somehow. So they could just take elements of the Fox universe, reboot it, and do it the MCU way. And the MCU way is basically better, in my opinion, than DC's way, where they like to explain the characters before they create an ensemble for them, so that you can appreciate it more. X-Men has always been a group, though, so it's kind of weird, but I could see them doing it individually, like Xavier sort of being the pivot to the other X-Men characters. Maybe you see like Wolverine pop up in a Secret Invasion movie or things like that. So what are you gonna say, Jasper?
I was just gonna say, wouldn't it be funny to have like since Doctor Strange is going to meet all like Doctor Stranges like in the new movie, like wouldn't it be funny if Quicksilver from the Fox universe meets WandaVision? So she can see like her other dead brother that's from a multiverse.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be insane.
So here's a thought, right? Like Dark CMF is saying in the chat, like I agree with him, because we've talked about this when we were watching WandaVision. Like WandaVision is the perfect way to introduce them because she's already technically created one, at least one, right? With Monica Rambeau, right? So when she goes through there, it alters her genetic code, and now she's I don't know if she's considered a mutant. I think she is, right?
Well, yeah, that's. We'll see. I think she'll be in what is it? The Marvels, because technically she's Photon in the comics and also Captain Marvel. When the original Captain Marvel, like pretty much like I don't remember if she dies or leaves, and then she takes over the mantle. But her alternate, like what we were saying the whole time during WandaVision, right now she could be be known as Photon, until something happens in either the TV shows that they're going to bring out or the movie with the Marvels.
Yeah. And she created her kids, and the alternate version of Vision, which now is what we call, I don't know if we call it White Vision or I forget what we call it.
Starts with an S.
Spectrum.
Well,
I don't know.
It was something like that.
Company.
Yeah, I know. Spectrum.
Oh,
we're gonna overcharge everybody.
Her kids are the soul shards from.
His name is literally White Vision.
But you remember the end, right, with the blast of from the reality thing that she does. Like what happened with that? Because I never talked about it since then. Maybe we'll get some answers in Doctor Strange, right? But whatever that energy is the same thing, that transformed Monica Rambeau, right?
I kind of just thought of a theory about that, but it kind of ties into with Moon Knight episode 5, and you all haven't seen that, so I guess
I've seen it.
Yeah.
You're talking about like the planes or the different.
Yeah. I'm wondering if she's on her plane.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. Like,
we can't talk about it too much because I know the rest of people haven't seen it, but that's just, we'll leave that.
Well, we know like from the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer, there's going to be 2 versions of her, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting. We're going to see at least 2 Doctor Stranges, maybe 3, right?
3, possibly 4.
3, possibly 4 then. So with that being said, there was another character that we saw in there that we were trying to figure it out. We tried to figure it out on this episode, and we couldn't really figure it out. But it looked like Captain Marvel potentially, or some people were saying it could be Firestorm, or it could be somebody else. But they had the torch elements on them, right?
I'm hoping it's Nova, but
could be Nova.
We'll see.
Right? So we'll see. I think you could be onto something. This Moon Knight episode 6, because one thing they haven't done yet with Moon Knight is really tie it into anything else, and everything else we've seen from Marvel has had some connection where they tied it in, like in the
it's
shows.
not Phoenix.
So maybe this episode 6 next week will have some kind of connection at the end, right? Because this mysticism type stuff going on now, with like the gods and stuff from Egypt and everything. I wonder how that's gonna progress, because it's not gonna end here.
Yeah.
This ain't gonna be it. So that's a whole nother side. We talk about groups. Like there's that group that's gonna involve Moon Knight probably, and whatever else. You got the Black Knight, right?
I swear to God, if it ends with that fucking what's the chick that's always been handing out the cards to like the new Captain America, was Abigail? What's her name?
I call her Evil Christine.
Yeah, whatever her name is. I swear to God, if she comes
Elaine.
in episode 6 of Moon Knight and hands out a fucking card, I'm gonna be like, get out of here.
Oh yeah, like tries to convince him to work for her again. That's been going on. So But
Yeah, we'll
that's
see.
already almost tied up now with Yelena. Didn't Yelena catch on that she's been lying to her already in Falcon and Winter
I
Soldier?
mean, we haven't seen that team that she's making for him yet all the way. So
Yeah, and we got to
Yeah,
see
she's
the
either
dumb Captain America guy again. You know,
well, either I think
John
she's
Walker.
building Dark Avengers or Thunderbolt Ross. I think it's what Thunderbolt Ross's team. I forget what it's
Yeah.
called, but yeah, and we'll see. We'll see which team is being created, because if it's Thunderbolt's Ross team, then we'll see Red Hulk, and we'll see that
Yeah.
weird Captain America dude, and
yeah, I
possibly
think
the new
maybe
Black
with
Widow.
She-Hulk we might find out like exactly what team she's making, because I guess we could see like She-Hulk fighting Red Hulk, but we'll have to see
Yeah.
who's the bad guy is in She-Hulk. I don't know.
I don't think they had anything said about it yet, because
That's
all we
still like
know is
months away, I think.
Daredevil is there. And of course Incredible Hulk, or Bruce Banner, because he kind of tells her how to channel the anger and how he became Professor Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they're
that's
gonna
how she becomes.
make the origin of She-Hulk in this. Are they going to go back to the lab, or is it just going to be that fizzy drink got out that he dropped his blood into that Stan Lee died from in the movie, but she didn't die?
I don't know.
Wow, that's like going back a ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. But you know what we're doing? We're speculating too much on what they are thinking about doing. We need to tell them what we want them to do. Like,
Well, I
we're
mean,
trying to
Dr.
guess.
Doom.
Yeah, yeah, you said. So let's see. I'm gonna say real quick what I want. I want as long anything else you can fuck up everything. I don't care. I want one big time. I want a big lead up to one major X-Men movie that is going to be badass, right?
Toad.
And then the second thing I want is I want a standalone Gambit movie, and I want Rogue to be in it. And I don't care who you pick as the villain. I don't give a shit.
Toad.
I want a Gambit movie,
Toad.
and I want it to look like and act like Gambit. That's my number one, right?
What about a Blob movie?
A Blob? Was Blob part of
I
the
don't-
MCU? Like part
Yeah,
of Marvel?
He's the X-Men character, but
Oh, that
Yeah.
Blob. I thought you were talking about like
Yeah.
the old Blob movies from like. Okay,
No.
Yeah, that would work. I mean, they could do Blob.
That'd be a TV
They
show.
got
I'm just trying to think of dumb X-Men characters.
well, the newest ones are the dumbest ones. Remember we were going
Oh,
through and looking
yeah.
at those with Pong in the DMs, and like one's like Strong Guy or some shit like
that's
that.
his fucking name.
Yeah,
Strong
yeah.
guy.
It was like the lamest names. It's like, what? Are
Yeah,
they
and
doing?
dude, Jubilee Justice. Yes, Breath Lord Strong. I agree. Dude, Jubilee's some justice. Like she kind of got screwed over in those Fox movies, and you know what?
No.
Rogue did too.
Wait, what movie was it? A movie or a TV show that we saw a poster of? Was it Dazzler or was it Jubilee? We talked about this the last couple weeks ago, I believe it was. We saw it. It
I
was
don't remember.
yeah, because I was like, "Who is that?" I think it was either a trailer or a movie or a
Was
TV.
it the when we were trying to figure out the fired person in the Doctor Strange trailer?
No, I don't know if it was that, but there was a poster of they were showing Jubilee or Dazzler. I forget. And you guys were like, "Are they teasing? Was it Pong? Pong might have." So it was something that Pong saw. So it might have been a trailer because he doesn't watch movies or TV shows. So it might have been a trailer he watched, and he's like,
Yeah, he only has
I
time
think
for
he point-
games and podcasts.
"Yeah, well, he's on 15,000 podcasts, so I'm surprised he's able to game sometimes."
Was Cloak and Dagger, that show they did for like 2 seasons on like IFC, that's still technically canon. They're X-Men characters, aren't they? Cloak and Dagger? They're mutants, right?
I don't know if they
I don't
are
know, man.
X-Men.
Oh wait, I don't think they are. I think they get their powers from something else. Never mind.
Hey, thanks to Forky over there, Forkboy Gaming, with his new
Forkboy.
podcast and channel that he just started. Appreciate you, dude. Gave us a super chat, $5. Says keep up the good content, man. Hey, you too, Fork. I'm excited that you got your own thing going, and excited to see where it heads, dude. But I know you're gonna have trouble keeping those puppets in check. I saw your trailer for your channel, man. Those things are gonna be a nuisance. So good luck. I love it though. Seriously though. Back from Dead says it'd be cool if they went to the astral plane like they did in one of the X-Men games. Well, that's kind of what Jasper's kind of like hinting at a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. Like we don't want to give away any spoilers for the last episode of Moon Knight.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it after this.
And that what we saw in Moon Knight maybe ties in with Black Panther. But
yeah, because
when Black Panther took his juice and was like talking to his ancestors, he was talking to the dead.
Yeah, that was the ancestral plane. They were trying to keep it simplified, and not really like people being, "What the fuck is this now?" You know. So they're going to talk about it down the road, whichever movie they're going to talk about it. Possibly Moon Knight. They could be touching on it, and this way people are like, "Oh, that's what that was." And yeah, I definitely need to watch Moon Knight. I've been busy today, and I couldn't get to it. So, but I definitely want to. Yeah, but there's just so much because we got the supernatural element.
Yeah.
Of
so what
Moon
are
Knight
the main pillars now? Right. So you got the supernatural. Then you got
the magic from Wanda,
Doctor Strange,
and Doctor Strange.
You have the
mutants,
Inhumans. They're not technically mutants, right?
Oh, from Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., those people.
Them too.
You're talking about you're talking about Inhumans, the TV show from CBS.
I mean, yeah, they have the Inhumans TV show, but Jasper, I think, are they also called Inhumans?
There's a whole other group called the Inhumans that has.
They're basically
mutants. All
those
characters. Right.
Yeah, I think they're also called the Inhumans in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, aren't they?
I don't know.
Think so. I'm not sure.
I remember they touched some like rock thing, it shattered, and it made a bunch of superpowered people all over the planet in that show.
Yeah, towards like the end. Yeah, I remember that season. People who hate that show should actually watch it. Like, I hated that show.
Is that the one with the teleporting dog and stuff?
Yeah, that's like season 7 or something. They go to the moon and there's a moon base. And
wow, I don't remember that. But like, I judged that show for so long, but there's a point in time where that show was actually pretty dang good. And
Gridlock, is that his dog's name?
Gridlock.
That's a transformer. That's the.
I think it's something Lock. I think it's something Lock is the dog's name, isn't it?
Agent Lock?
No.
Oh.
Spartan Lock.
It's not good.
Spartan Lock.
Teleporting dog. X-Men.
I see him. Yeah, who the heck? Lockjaw.
Locked. I knew it was something Lock.
Yeah, I typed in Gridlock and I could not find. He's okay. So one of the most powerful Marvel heroes is actually the Inhumans. It's the main Inhuman, and it sucks that he was in a crappy show because his powers are awesome, and I love his story, and they did touch upon it in the TV show, but the main guy of Inhumans who can't talk, I forgot his name, but
Zipperface.
No,
I know what you're talking about. He's like Black something.
Black Adam. Black
not Black Adam.
Black Bolt.
Yeah, Black Bolt. Yeah,
Black Bolt. Yeah.
So Black Bolt is super cool. Like, he in the comics, like, he accidentally like killed someone he loved, and so he vowed to never speak again because his voice is his weapon. So he pretty much speaks in sign language, which they do in the show. To be fair, he does not speak in the show. He does sign language, and then he has the dog, Lockjaw, as well. who is his trusty companion, and I think he was also in Jasper was saying, in Agents of Shield. A lot of those side characters is like, you guys were Matt was asking like, what do you guys want to see? That's what I want to see. I want to see like those characters that have amazing stories in the comics, and they haven't been fully explored by the MCU. And I would love to see it. Like Ghost Rider, for example, was in the Agents of Shield show. It was the other Ghost Rider. I forgot his name.
Yeah,
but
he drove a car in that one, I think, right? Not a bike.
Gabriel. Yeah, he drives a car instead of a bike. He's a character in the comics too. But I would love to see Ghost Rider in the MCU.
Bring him back.
Ghost Rider, like he is part of that like monster
supernatural
type realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
kind of along the lines of like Blade with him too, because he fights all those like vampires and monsters and shit.
Yeah. And so we've already seen Black Knight, right?
Yeah.
And now Moon Knight, right?
So they're introducing those characters, which is awesome.
So will we get a Ghost Rider?
I think we'll get a Ghost Rider appearance with Blade.
Like the final credits scene, you see like fire wheels or some shit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually a good place to do
it. Yeah, that would be insane. You see Blade, he just finished
like he
off
just
whatever.
Yeah,
and he's just walking. And he's just like, he's either walking towards wherever, and all of a sudden down this dark alley, all of a sudden you just hear a motorcycle just start up, rev, and the flames of the bike just appear, and you're like, and it fades to black. And that
who would y'all vote to play Ghost Rider?
Oh God.
I mean, we got Chris Evans, he's Captain America, so you can't do him.
And he's also played Human Torch.
I mean, they could be whoever. They could bring in whoever that's somewhat decent. Because it can't be too bulky, because
Did we see Punisher get back in the mix at some point too? Like
they did say
right. He had his own Netflix show.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but like that's been
MCU.
Years now,
Yeah.
I believe they were touching on that. Him, Daredevil, Punisher, and Luke Cage are. They're canon now.
I like Dark CMS. I like Dark CMF's Chris Pine choice because we already seen him ride a motorcycle a lot in the Star Trek movies. I think that would kind of fit,
It was one scene, I guess. No, because it was in the third one too. Shit.
Yeah. He seemed like I could picture that, just because of that. There's so many people. Oh, here we go. No, I was gonna say something stupid, but that wouldn't work. Yeah, there's so many people that could play Ghost Rider. I mean, Nicolas Cage played Ghost Rider. It's insane, right? And he's too old to reprise the role now, I think. Just wouldn't. I don't know if it'd work. All right, so Ghost Rider. We got the Monster Realm. Is that the same thing? Is the same realm as Moon Knight, right? Kind of like the Spirit Realm, Monster Realm, supernatural stuff, right? Then we got Then we got the mutants. Right.
Oh, my freaking mic was off. Here. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Ben's talking this whole time. Like, why is no one listening to me?
Well, it helps if you don't talk with your hand over your mouth, so you your lips moving. So.
No, okay. Someone in the chat said Midnight Suns, and yeah. So Midnight Suns. I didn't know anything about this, but it seems like it has Blade. It has freaking Moon Knight. And Ghost Rider and Punisher and all those, and even Doctor Strange. That's pretty cool. I think that's Constantine in the back.
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Constantine's on the right, right? But who's on the left? Who's that?
Yeah,
it looks like Duke from G.I. Joe almost. I don't know what the fuck that is.
That's businessman. His power is finance.
Maybe they're building up to this. But...
No, he has
either way.
He has something around his ear. I just don't know who it is.
Yeah, I don't know. He has like a communication device or something.
The communicator. That's it. The communicator.
Yeah, but I mean, Doctor Strange, they could tell so many stories with him. Like he's a part of so many groups, Avengers, Midnight Suns,
Illuminati.
apparently, and Illuminati. So I wonder which direction they'll go
And
in.
they teased Illuminati too in Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, and Black Bolt's supposed to be in that. The person you were just talking about too, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Black Bolt.
And Doctor Strange too.
As a part of the Illuminati.
Illuminati. 'cause
Oh,
it's
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Xavier, Black Bolt, Iron Man. There was like 5 people. I think.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So possibly.
Vic says, "Can we get a Howard the Duck show?" Now, when I was a kid,
No.
the Howard the Duck movie was like on all the time. I freaking watched that movie like 20 times.
Isn't that R-rated?
It gave me the creeps, man. I'm gonna say like it was always on, but man, that movie gave me the creeps, especially when, like the snake thing happens and stuff. You know.
Yeah, that was. I was petrified of that movie. What
He
seeing
was
that?
in Thor 2. or
Nope.
Thor
Yeah.
1.
Nope.
Yeah,
Get
but
me out of here.
I mean, if they did anything with Howard the Duck, I'd want to see like a recreation of that movie, the same movie almost. You know, it's like so classic. I think it's kind of like a cult classic at this point. I think. So how are they gonna bring all these groups together?
Yeah,
Secret
I'm
Wars.
glad that's not my job, but Secret Wars.
I mean, that's where everyone fights each other. So
Yep, definitely. And they could then throw in the imminent threat that's coming. That they
once they get done beating the shit out of each other, they show Galactus coming in or some shit. It's like, oh crap, we got to fight that guy.
what
like a
the
Civil
fuck?
War moment.
Or
like
Silver Surfer coming, warning them like, "Hey, you know
Your problems are meaningless and small. Let's focus on this.
something's on its way. You're about to get effed. Get as many people as you can. Hurry."
I mean,
because they teased Thanos for years. They're like Thanos, you know.
Now I know they're doing Secret Invasion, as well. So
That's what I meant, Secret Invasion.
And they're doing that and then they're doing Secret Wars is, I believe, a TV show. I think Secret Invasion is going to be a movie. So we'll see.
Oh, I think I've been saying the wrong thing this whole time. I think Secret Wars is what I meant.
Yeah, I think Secret Wars is the show, right?
I believe that's
now
Secret Wars.
What's the one where they're all fight on the planet? It's like the
I thought
entire
that
planet
was
is the
Secret
battle.
Wars, but let me see.
There's that invasion.
Secret Invasion, I think, is
It's the
Skrulls.
Skrulls. The Skrulls taking over.
Oh yeah.
The Skrill. It's the Skrill, my friend.
The Skrill?
Yeah, Secret
is that
Wars.
a plural for scrolls? Is it for scroll? Like multiple scrolls, Skrill?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Dark CMF. Agatha is going to be the nanny for Richard.
Oh, if they introduce the Beyonder, that's old school. I hope they do.
Beyonder?
Well, I mean, they got Agatha, and she was the nanny of Richard and freaking Invisible Woman's baby, which was what the second most powerful freaking mutant.
Well, I think let's go back to maybe the main topic of us planning out the future of the industry.
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole we go down, man.
Yeah, so like
It's a
what I'm
rabbit
thinking now
hole.
is maybe like since we got Kang or Krang or whatever the fuck his stupid name is, the timekeeper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe like that's how we get Galactus. Is Galactus senses there's a disturbance in time? He's like, what the hell's going on? And he comes out and he's like, Krang, you haven't been doing your job, so now I'm going to destroy the galaxy or some shit. So maybe that's where they like once they wrap up the Krang storyline, they'll introduce Galactus.
Kang the Conqueror, right?
Oh yeah, Kang. Yeah. Wow, I completely forgot about Kang.
Because we just saw him at the end of Loki, and that's supposed to be like a big thing, and then we just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true. Man, there's so
And
many
that
loose
is
ends right
fucking-
now. Is there too many loose ends all at once right now?
Well, because
Like,
Well, I trust Marvel to actually like tie up at least some of them.
well,
like-
we'll see, because Doctor Strange 2, I think, is affected with what is happening with Loki. Of
Yeah,
what happened to
no, it's
Loki.
Krang. I'm calling it Krang from fucking Ninja,
Ninja
Turtles.
Turtles.
Yeah.
Get the crane, right?
Krang.
It's all right.
Right.
You got
You
turtles.
guys
in your
knew
brain.
exactly what we meant.
Yeah, it's whatever.
That's funny. Yeah, I was like,
Forgot
it's a
about
crane. I kept saying crane. And it's like,
Crane in the game. So maybe actually they change it from Galactus to Kang being the big baddie.
I think he's
nah.
the big bad.
I think
No?
Kang will be like,
He's like the mid-level boss.
they introduced him too early. You know what I mean? He's like a Loki. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe like Galactus senses that the time's fucked up or some shit.
Yeah.
He's like,
So
what's going on
we'll
here?
see another Kang, the one that they had shown like that was like, you know,
I think you guys are underestimating Kang.
Oh, Kang's a motherfucker.
no, he's a motherfucker, you know, but like you gotta, who you gonna have like play second? You gotta have somebody crazy strong to play second fiddle to Galactus. You know,
They wouldn't introduce a main bad like literally in a TV show like that. Now he would be the enemy up to a point.
Yeah, it's like Loki and Thanos. Like Loki was the main like bad guy for the first like smaller movies, and then like we got Thanos.
but I think we're gonna have like
Thanos
5 Lokis.
Was the last
Right.
half. So it's
I
like-
don't think we're just gonna this time. I don't think we're gonna have like one Loki that leads to Thanos. I think we're gonna have like, you know, we also had Ultron, you know, but like Ultron like kind of came and went. He's like, yeah, Ultron's
Yeah,
gone
they
now.
fucking destroyed that, didn't they?
Oh yeah, King. Did they say? Sorry, he was in Fantastic Four or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're gonna
announced
tie
it
that
already.
whole
Okay,
Richard
never
Rider
mind.
and all that stuff.
All right, go ahead. What were you saying?
Why did they name him Richard Rider? Because you know, if you actually abbreviate it to it's like Dick Rider. just
That's why they did it.
just a thought, you know, some Marvel guy had a good sense of humor there. So no, for real though, like, okay, you got the whole thing building up. I with 40 movies, 40 plus movies with potentially 50, right? And we also have all these shows. There's gonna be more than just like one Loki type bad guy, you know. There's
Yeah.
gonna be probably like 6,
Was it
Yeah,
maybe 6,
he is-
one for each of the subcomponents. You know what I mean? Like I think you're gonna have like
'cause
one
we
main bad guy for like for each group. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we also are forgetting that Mephisto is also the WandaVision's children were 2 soul shards of Mephisto. So if they're gonna bring that element as well, that's a whole nother freaking baddie. It's like, fuck. It's like a lot of the story that they can do is tell it through TV shows that kind of tie up loose ends if they need it, you know. So this way they can, you know, just have it fractured everywhere, just like the timeline, and then tie up the loose ends and dwindle down and focus the storyline towards the end of the arch of whatever the saga is going to be, either it being Galactus, King the Conqueror, or whoever they decide to, you know, bring up. So it's very interesting because to me, having all these superheroes are being introduced and everything, that's why like we're saying that Galactus is the main baddie because everybody helps and to fight him. So that's why we're thinking, that's what my thoughts are, is why we're getting all these characters right now.
So do
They
we think
need every single one.
maybe one big Egyptian god type daddy?
We could. I was just looking at like Galactus things because for some reason I was thinking the 10 rings kind of reminded me of Galactus's arms for a minute. But then I'm just looking into Galactus. Apparently, there's like an attack on Asgard where he's searching for the World Seed that creates the new universe or some shit.
Asgard's gone now, you know.
Yeah, but there's new Asgard, and there's like in one of the trailers, there's like a big world tree that Thor made with his hammer or some shit. So maybe this is where we're gonna see like a Galactus like little teaser or some shit.
So the World Seed is
Well,
what was
they-
supposed to be like this that
Or
turned into
Galactus
the
seed.
turn
It
turned
turns into
into
a cosmic heart that creates the next universe.
Yeah.
which
Well,
is
Vic
like
makes a
what
good
creates this it's what Eternals is all about.
Yeah.
Right. What are those things called? The
Celestials.
Celestials. Yeah. Creates the Celestials. Yeah. So, and I did mix up Reed Richards and Richard Rider, but they need to stop making guys with the name Richards in their name, and also with both first and last names ours.
I mean, that's Stan Lee literally did that on purpose,
Yeah.
so people could remember who the characters are, like Peter Parker, Reed Richards, Susan Storm. It goes on and on. Doctor Doom, But what Vic was saying with Kang, actually, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, Kang is a descendant of Reed Richards, so they can definitely do something with that with Fantastic Four, and introduce stuff. If you're gonna introduce the Fantastic Four, most likely the X-Men is not too far away. Those are like 2 Fox movies. I guess it's just dependent on how they introduce those 2
Could you
universes.
guys imagine actually trying to come up with this shit? Like, I mean, we're like trying to. We
That's
go
why they're
like
going on
20
a
different.
retreat, man.
We go in 20 different directions here in like an hour, just like going back and forth, and like, they're.
I feel
at
like we need
retreat.
a whiteboard and someone just like writing the shit down.
Yeah, but they got all these like yarns with like fucking like strings going. How many many boards do they got to have for this?
Oh my god. Well, that's why I guarantee they're wherever they're going, it's like this I wouldn't say underground bunker, but it's a secluded freaking place. Probably only
It probably has a Marvel library.
I don't know where and they're just gonna hash it out and just like have all these going and like.
I see what you're trying to do by like getting the 4 pillars, like maybe concentrate it like down that way.
Yes,
that's what you're
100%. Because it gets too convoluted. Because everything is connected. We know that, right? So that's irrelevant at this point. Like, so I'm trying to figure out like how they're going to structure it, because we have the Eternals thing going. So we already have the Celestial storyline going. We already have Shang-Chi, which is like, I don't even know which. I mean, mysticism, does that fit in there? Like, I don't.
But the thing is, we don't even know where Shang-Chi's like 10 rings like come from, because they still didn't know that in the movie.
And what,
so like this isn't
Mystic Arts,
and that's like
Mystic
another.
Arts,
He
like
was in
Doctor
another
Strange.
plane
That'd be
also
Doctor
when he
Strange.
went into like his home of, I forget what it's called, but so all of the stuff's tying in together. So like what I'm thinking is, okay, so there's the monster group, right? Then we got the traditionalist, I'll say like the Captain America
humans.
Yeah, we'll call them the humans, right? And then we got the mutants.
You have your 9 realms, your cosmic people, I guess. Like
then you got your like space dudes, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like the gods and stuff, it's just there's like I feel like they're gonna have to concentrate this, and I think that's why they've been setting this up, right? I think Falcon the Winter Soldier served a purpose for that aspect. I think Moon Knight served a purpose for that aspect, and I think She-Hulk is going to serve a purpose for that aspect, and I think WandaVision served a purpose for that. I think WandaVision main purpose was to set up the mutants. I think that Moon Knight's main purpose was to help set up this whole gods and supernatural stuff, right? And I think She-Hulk may be like more of the like
it's probably setting
advanced human
stuff,
it's probably setting up like the other, like She-Hulk in particular. She's a lawyer, so it's probably going to tie in Daredevil and stuff like that.
We've already seen a hint. Didn't we see a hint about that or something about Daredevil being in She-Hulk?
I just wouldn't be surprised. That's literally She-Hulk's job. She's a lawyer. So
yeah, I thought unless that was a fan made trailer.
We haven't seen anything official from that. I don't think. I think it's just the only thing we have is leaked Amazon cups.
No, I thought they had I saw a She-Hulk. Unless that was a fan made She-Hulk trailer that had Bruce Banner.
And I mean, in Hawkeye, there was obviously it's the same. They show us it's the same world or whatever. You have Kingpin and stuff, but somebody was, and then we had Daredevil made an appearance in Spider-Man. Right, but what else? Like there was another the component where I remember somebody saying recently, like Daredevil is going to be in this, and I can't remember what it was, and it's bothering me. But whatever that is.
Because
I
they're
don't know.
lawyers. That lawyer
It just
aspect.
makes sense. Yeah, it just makes sense that Daredevil's going to be in She-Hulk because she's a lawyer. It just
Yeah, I
makes...
see the trailer you're talking about. It says concept trailer for Disney, so I think that's just a fake trailer.
Okay. It was just interesting. I saw it the other night. I was sitting in bed baking.
Okay, so let's do it
And,
this way. Let's figure this out because I can't. I'm trying to even figure out how we're gonna plan this out. Okay. So let's say we have 40 movies. We'll just leave it at that. 10 movies. Do you want about mutants, or no?
That's too many.
Too many?
No,
Like
no.
5?
Yeah. Mm.
I would...
Over the 10 years,
Yeah.
that's too many. I think if you want to do 5 movies, you're looking at 15, 20 years.
Okay.
With mutants, yeah, possibly. It'd probably be not. I mean, if they're gonna have individual movies or TV shows, that's different. If they're not gonna do like a Wolverine movie anymore and just do a Wolverine TV show to introduce
Well, what they
these new
do is the main
characters,
Too
character
much.
gets the movie,
Okay,
and
mostly.
the side characters usually get the TV shows. That's what they've been doing.
except for Moon Knight. So
Yeah, I would honestly, if I was Kevin Feige with
so it's interesting what
X-Men,
they're gonna do.
I would do what he's doing, like introduce Xavier and think about it like the Hulk way. Like they introduce Hulk in so many other movies, and then eventually they'll do their own X-Men.
Yeah, but I don't want
But
that like for the
best-
characters because Hulk's always been such a like lower tier character. I mean, he's a big part of like the group movies.
What's your character? One of the most powerful people.
No,
in
I know,
this.
but like what I mean is they didn't do
Yeah.
him justice because they didn't have the full rights to him, right?
Yeah.
And so he didn't get a bunch of standalone Thor movies. He was always an extra component of another movie. You know what I mean? Like I want the X-Men to be fully fleshed out like they did with the Avengers.
yeah,
I
and
just
think it will
you're
be.
not gonna get
It-
that with the MCU.
Not with this storyline, because X-Men are, if they go Galactus route, there's too many
Yep.
Other people they
superheroes
have to
in the-
make. And
Yes, so they
introduce.
can't they can't do Avengers style where Avengers pretty much was the ones that they focused on only, pretty much.
That's
then
where
you
I.
got-
Yeah, that's where I just think that the multiverse is the only way you're getting your X-Men flushed out, and that's if they make the Fox canon with the MCU through the multiverse. That's the only
Oh
way
no,
you're getting
I
flushed
think I
out.
disagree with you guys. I think Kevin Feige knows how important X-Men is, which is
They'll
why
make
they
a
probably
couple
need
movies.
this big.
Yeah,
but they're not going to make 10 movies or
Yeah,
5
out of
movies.
all of
Oh.
everything that Marvel has, it's like one of the top things, right?
Yeah,
Like it's one of the
yeah.
biggest things they got. Like
that's
Spider-Man
just too
and
many to
X-Men
focus on, though.
Yeah.
You would
the
spend
lead
too
up
much time. Yeah,
the lead up for this, they can't focus as they'd have with the the last saga. They can't do that. They can't focus. They can't do an Avengers focus with X-Men right now. They just can't.
you
Okay,
would
so-
have to have 2 movies of X-Men like every year until.
No, well,
Galactus
how about
shows up.
this? Just a theory. Okay, hear me out, right? Hypothetically, right? What if at this retreat, Kevin Feige's like, dudes, we're gonna need more movies. Like this isn't gonna cut it. We're gonna need to make more movies to tell the stories we want to tell. You know, because X-Men is a huge property. It's gonna sell out like crazy, right? No matter when they do it. So, well, let's say they go this route. Okay, you already got the whole time aspect going, right? You already got the multiverse thing going. You already had the WandaVision like reality blast or whatever. Okay, so let's say that reality blast triggered a set thing in another universe, right?
Are you
Hold
set on movies?
I'm set on movies and
Well,
shows.
then
I
you're
want
not getting
both.
it.
I want both. Now hold on. Let's say that triggered an event, okay? And back in time in another one of these universes, it set the motion forward for the mutants. Okay? Way back into the apocalypse days. Okay, because it's like the first mutant, right? Okay, so then we have a reset in another universe showing Earth earlier in the 80s. Go into the 80s so you can go fucking full 80s shit on this, right? and you have a whole X-Men storyline starting from bare bones scratch, right? That builds up over time, and then when it gets to the Phoenix period, right, and the huge build up, that's when you go into the whole merging of universes, and they catch up at that point with this timeline. So then we have the X-Men timeline, which is predating the current timeline that we're on because it's set back in the 80s. So they could do like a whole nother storyline that predates all this shit, right? Huh?
Okay, I'm Mr. Disney, and what
Man.
you're proposing is not going to work. That's too much money. We don't have the budget for it. If you want those individual characters, you're getting TV shows. We're not getting movies of them. We're getting TV shows.
You're going to get the individual characters in the TV shows, but you're going to get the big ones in the movies.
TV show doesn't
Once
necessarily
the TV
mean
show
lesser.
happens, then we join them all up into a big movie.
Yeah,
That's in the budget. 20 movies ain't in the budget.
yeah, I can see
Mr.
them.
Disney over here.
I could see them doing
Can we kick Mr.
like,
Disney out? He's
a
ruining the
movie or two with X-Men, but they got to do Fantastic Four. They got to do Young Avengers. They got to do Dark Avengers. They got to do the Team Thunderbolt Ross. They got to do. There's just so many teams that they got to bring, and so many different stories that they got to. If this is the saga that we think it's going to be with Galactus, there's so much that they got to bring. They can't focus on just X-Men and individual movies. That's why we'll probably get individual TV shows of like Wolverine, Storm, things like that.
I mean,
But
they're going to do that.
X-Men movie. We'll have an X-Men movie, but I don't think we're going to get multiple X-Men movies.
Oh, but you have to. Come on, man. They got the fucking X-Men.
I think you guys might be wrong. All right, think about how Thanos was introduced, and Thanos wasn't really introduced or talked about till later. Like they haven't. Like Iron Man. Think about like. Okay, think about it like this: Iron Man 1, 2, 3, right?
Yes.
Right? Captain America 1, 2, 3, right? I think they're going to build out a trilogy for X-Men with TV shows. And then you can
That's
have
what we're
both.
saying.
I know, but like I'm talking to Mav really.
Oh, okay.
Like, Mav, they're going to have TV shows.
I want the TV shows too. I want both.
Okay, so you do want the TV shows.
Yeah, I just need the big budget X-Men movies as well.
He just wants like 5 X-Men movies.
But you've seen the quality of the TV shows. It's pretty dang good. Like at least
100%. That would work great. Like a Gambit and Rogue storyline that's separate, that also, going in a TV show. You could have a whole Wolverine and Sabretooth storyline going as well. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to see that stuff.
Here's a thought. If they could do a separate entity of like a Rogue and Gambit movie, but under Fox Pictures, so this way it doesn't tie into.
Don't let Fox make a movie.
No, well, it's owned by Disney, but they just use the Fox moniker, and this way they don't have to tie in that storyline into the MCU storyline. So this way it's separated. You know what I'm saying? So it's two different things. They can tell their own individual story, but not necessarily tie it into what's going on in the current MCU. So you can possibly still get your movies, Mav, but it just won't have any canon to what this saga is all about.
Well, I think
That's
will because it'll catch up to it. Right?
Well, then they could talk about it at that point.
Right, exactly. That's 100% what I'm saying. Because with the multiverse, it makes it all possible. You don't need to use Fox's. You can create your own, and then tie it in after you've made it, right? Like, let's say that WandaVision's event created these mutants in another time and place, right?
But why wouldn't it just happen in the MCU?
Because it wouldn't work for what I'm trying to say. Okay, like I'm trying to create a path for them that would be awesome. Okay, I'm trying to think of awesomeness, like what I want the most. I'm not trying to think of like, okay, well this is gonna be like this and this. I'm trying to think of a solution that we could make work, right? Number one, it can't.
Who invited this man to the retreat?
Hold on. Well, number one, it could work, and number two, it would be awesome, and number three, it would do justice to one of the biggest properties that they have, which is X-Men, right? And if you just throw in X-Men to everything else that's going on right now, it's gonna just be a piece and component. I want X-Men to be as big as it can be on its own, right? And still be able to be tied into this universe. So my solution is this. Now, this is what I would pitch if I was talking to Kevin Feige right now at the retreat. Say, Mr. Feige, when WandaVision has a reality blast, whatever the fuck that was, okay? It goes and it catches on into a crack in the space-time continuum, whatever the hell dimension open portal thing that is, and goes into another universe in another time and starts the dawn of the mutants with Apocalypse, right? Then you can
the Fox universe.
No, not the Fox universe. Fuck them. They messed it up. Okay.
They had their chance.
Apocalypse was in it, but it doesn't matter. Like, you don't even have to. You can just have references to Apocalypse in these movies. But that's what happened. Okay. So, in this first movie, you're gonna be in the 80s, and the X-Men are going to exist. And it makes sense because the 80s predates this current timeline, right? So, if you were to have this separate story going on in another Earth, right, where you have this mutants, you can do justice to the whole storyline that they have between Magneto and Professor X and all this stuff. And eventually it catches up to where then it all converges, and that you have Professor
Doctor
X
Strange
as the head of the Illuminati, right?
Man.
And then you get to have all the 80s fucking X-Men shit. You get to have all this fun, awesome stuff. You get to have like all the colorful suits.
What you're describing is already made.
No, it was made in a cartoon form. It was made in a cartoon form. It was never fully fleshed out the way it should have been in a movie, right? Yeah. They attempted it. They squandered it, right? Days of Future Past was the closest thing, but they still shit on a lot of stuff. I mean, where's Jubilee? You know, where is like all these awesome X-Men?
That's Fox. Fox.
Exactly. I don't want to use Fox's shit. They sucked, right? They messed it up. I still enjoyed the movie, but they messed it up. So let's go and make a whole nother X-Men canon, and then
but they can't. But see, the problem is though they can't focus. I don't think they could focus on X-Men with the Saga.
No, because you have the Saga, and then you have X-Men coinciding separately, right? And then later you have the X-Men. Guess what? You got Cable, right? Can fucking time travel all those motherfuckers to the future.
Well,
you know,
the one way they could introduce and tie in X-Men with the MCU is use Moon Knight, because Apocalypse is an Egyptian mutant that was back then that they could, Horus and all the other Egyptian gods, be like talking to Moon Knight, be like, listen, there is an evil that we sealed away that is now awake again, type shit. And then that's how you introduce Apocalypse.
They could either do it like the way with the multiverse, where they introduce the characters and they come into our universe, or they could just be like, oh, they were hiding this entire time. Which
that would suck though, because that's unbelievable. Like, you have this world full of mutants, and like that, because the mutant population is large in the X-Men universe, right? It's not just the X-Men that are mutants; it's like a large quantity of the population, right?
That's why I'm thinking maybe something to do with the blip, like when Thanos snapped, like when they brought everyone back, the people that came back, they came back different. So you would have like half the world be different.
Yeah,
and they're just now discovering their powers because it's been like 4 years. So you start seeing small people, like one person a year, like comes out, and then so on and so on. More people come out.
And then with the WandaVision Hex Curse, if she does, because that's what we were all thinking, that she was going to expand it around the Earth, and that's what we thought with the No Way Home from Spider-Man, because we saw that picture, but I guess that wasn't canon. So we, there was just, because the house, like Dark CMF, and I think who else was in chat? It was Dark CMF and the Dusty Uno. they were talking about the House of M, and the whole thing with the House of M, of course, you guys know, is she gets rid of mutants genes, and then of course then she brings them back, and then makes mutants again. But with the blip, if she does something with her powers again, and it goes to a planet-wide spread, the people that were blipped now react to that hex curse, and then they see what Monica Rambeau, what happened with her. We'll start to see a change there.
Well, see, what I was thinking was like, from what I understand, like some of the mutant powers, like the people that find out they have mutant powers, it's like when they're in like a really traumatic or stressful event, like that's when their powers comes out. They're like, oh shit, I didn't know I could breathe fire or whatever. It's like,
yeah, that's
so
true.
like as like time progresses, like it's been like 4 years since the blimp, like these people are starting to experience like near death situations. So they're starting to like, you're starting to slowly see a number of people come out with random powers. And that's just,
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but I hate it.
But that's how it makes canon. That's how.
Yeah, I know. I get it, but then they're already in this universe of all these other superheroes and all this shit, and that.
But they haven't been around, so it makes sense because it's only been 4 years.
I get it makes sense. I get it makes sense. Like you could do it that way, but I don't know if it does justice to what I want from the X-Men.
Well, that's when you have 20 years. You can't just have the X-Men entire 20 X-Men movies in a year. It takes time.
No, it does take time. That's why. Hold on.
The X-Men saga.
That's why. Yes, I do. That's why. Well, that's why you start now. Go back to the 80s, right, and tell a whole new story.
Why do you got to go back to the 80s?
Because
he wants the animated series.
In order to make it work, I got to coincide with the times, right? So the timeline. You gotta have time for all this to develop. And so you got to have all of these things happen over like decades in order to lead up to the point where that X-Men.
Yeah, we're talking like the year 2042. That's when you have 20 years of X-Men.
No. Because that X-Men would happen in like 20. And
where to the rescue?
What are they at in the MCU now? Like 2023 or something?
5 or some shit.
Yeah. So that's when it would happen. It would happen like when that whole time thing get messed up with Kang. Right, with the whole time continuum thing messed up with King the Conqueror. What was that? 2022, 3, 4, or whatever timeline that is. That's when the X-Men meet and they converge into like this whole big one universe thing where we can all cross dimensions and stuff. So that way you have time to set it up. Right? Okay, you say you don't go back to the 80s. You go back to the 2000s, whatever. Like whatever it is, but like
I don't.
You can have time and flesh out this whole storyline, and then have it coincide with where they're at now. You're just playing catch up.
Yeah,
right?
But if you're gonna spend all this time telling this X-Men story that has
a whole separate storyline.
You lead up to you everyone's watching these movies and you're like, all right, where's it gonna peak at? And then it's just like, okay, we're gonna go over here.
It's gonna peak out with the Phoenix.
Your two options you get with this to make sense is multiverse, or it starts after like now. It starts now, or like slightly like a few years ago. You can't have it starting 80 years ago.
Yeah, and I prefer it starting like at least like 10 years ago, right?
If it was multiverse, it could be that timeline mutants.
But see,
events already happened.
In X-Men universe, it already happened since like Apocalypse days, and then it was a thing in like World War II and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what we call the Fox saga.
No, it's not just the Fox. That's like from the comics and stuff, right?
He wants to create a whole nother universe to make it more convoluted for the people to understand.
It won't be convoluted because when you're watching, that'll be X-Men universe. It'll be like
where's Pong Soul?
It'll be a whole separate subset.
Pong Soul?
Pong would agree with me on this.
Yeah, Pong would probably agree with you.
Pong would agree with me
Pong
on this.
Might have a different. He might have a different take.
I think
when Kevin Feige decides to do the X-Men, it's most likely it's going to be a reboot, and he's going to bring it back from actual comics. Remember, Fox was ashamed of their source material.
Yes.
They've shown it time and time again that they are ashamed of it. Like, what, yellow spandex? Ew, I would never in a million years. Or like Fantastic Four, and like they were like ashamed of what they were. So what Kevin Feige is going to do most likely is have a basis from the comics, probably bring back their original costumes of Wolverine and the that thing he wears, and most likely it'll be the 80s X-Men or the Jim Lee X-Men. I'm guessing. So that means it's going to be a full reboot. I think there will be some people they might pick from the Fox universe, like Xavier. They already teased like Pietro or whatever his name is.
Patrick Stewart. That was a butchering of his name.
No, the
Pietro,
Quicksilver
yeah.
is Pietro or whatever. And they're gonna most likely just completely reboot it. I don't really know how they're gonna completely redo it or what avenue where the X-Men are going to appear, but most likely they're gonna appear in individual movies. A TV show, again, I think you guys are underestimating the power of TV shows.
No,
you can tell longer stories.
I agree.
With TV shows.
I agree. Mav,
I want the TV show.
I keep saying you
guys were saying you don't want movies. How do you not want an X-Men movie? What the fuck is that? You're like, you want an X-Men movie?
You can get way more with
we
a
don't
TV
need.
show.
Yes,
I'm saying I would love a movie.
You don't need an X-Men
2 hours, man. Movies are only 2 hours. You could imagine that same budget with.
Yeah, you need 10 movies, man.
No, I want 5 shows and 5 movies. Is that fair?
Oh my god.
But why a movie as opposed to TV show?
I am not saying I don't want the TV shows. I want those too. I just want, like, here's the thing. X-Men to me is just as big as the Avengers, right?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you just make them a small component to all this shit going on now, and you don't have this huge saga, then they're always going to feel like just a secondary component to this. And I don't want X-Men to feel that way. I want X-Men to be. I want it is the issue. That's why I'm trying to solve it.
Because
I'm trying to solve the issue.
The storytelling they have told so far, they can't make the X-Men the main focus right now. It's too big now. They made it so huge that they are just a small bit in this massive.
If you wanted to expand the X-Men that large, you would have to do like 5 Eternals movies where each Eternals movie is 20 different X-Men. And it's just that would just be terrible.
Yeah. Well, okay, so hear me out. Okay.
So that's why you have to do like 5 TV shows focusing on a single or 2 characters.
I agree.
And then introduce them into a movie.
So you have like 5 shows, right? We agree on that. Okay. And then you have like a movie that is that's mutants and stuff, right? That where they introduce Patrick Stewart and form the X-Men. Right? Okay. And then you have like them in other movies as well, just kind of like they have, done before. And then you also have then you have like another big X-Men movie where they have like another big enemy, right? And then you do another one. So, and then eventually it'll lead up to the Phoenix, right? Timeline.
Now you're bringing the Phoenix?
Yes, it's a huge thing with X-Men. Like, it's got to be.
I know, but
like, you can't not do X-Men and not have that. Otherwise,
yeah,
it's
not, that
you can't have Dark Phoenix.
They have to Psycho. Like, they're gonna avoid it. Like the Uncle Ben thing, they might do it a different way, where they might either maybe it did happen in the background or something because they did it twice already. But Fox screwed it up.
Yeah, you don't do it like Fox. Yeah. Don't use Fox as example. Like, get Fox out of your mind, right? Like, Fox doesn't exist.
That's why I don't.
But it kind of does because we have Patrick Stewart and Xavier.
It's same actor, different person.
On that many X-Men. That's why I'm thinking.
No, hold on. This is going to be the Spider-Man getting punched in the face on the crane thing again.
Yeah.
That is Professor X from the Fox universe.
That is not. It can't be. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that the Fox X-Men universe is going to be canon in the MCU. They cannot allow that to happen.
It is. It's Spider-Man getting punched in the face.
No, I was wrong about that one. I'm not wrong about this one. They can't do that. Like, Kevin Feige knows how convoluted and shit that was, and he probably would refuse to include it.
If we're gonna get anything, Mav, it would probably be 2, maybe 3 X-Men movies, and it's going to tie in. If they're going to tie it into this saga, it's just going to tie into that. But that's about it. They're not going to go the Dark Phoenix route. That would be a whole different. If they're going to do a whole
that's like the fifth
X-Men
movie.
Dark Phoenix, that is something else they're going to do.
They have to eventually do it. It's such an important part of the
outside
X-Men.
of the saga. They can't bring all that into the saga. They can't.
That's going to be the cosmic point that makes it all collide.
That's why
you know.
That's why I'm saying if they have it under the Fox moniker, then they could do whatever the fuck they want with X-Men. They can have 15 X-Men movies and do the whole Dark Phoenix saga and everything, but it's not going to be canon with this unless they tie an event that happens into it, and then it all ties
But
together.
Fox doesn't exist anymore. Like
here, guys, they can still
do whatever they want.
They could still contain these movies. Like I think you guys are thinking like X-Men has to meet with Avengers, has to meet. Like they could still contain it.
Yes,
it'll be harder. They like if they really wanted to, like X-Men could have a whole big battle, blah, 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 and then none of the Avengers show up. Like they could definitely do it. It's just like that's their problem to solve. I know they're going to do it. Like X-Men are going to have their own standalone movies at some point. It's
exactly, Dark CMF. See?
Yeah.
What he said.
Yeah.
They have to lead up to it. They can't just.
They're gonna make it smaller.
Yes, 100%. I agree with you. That's why it takes so many movies to get there.
This saga has already have happened. We can't. They if the next saga possibly will do that in 10 years from
20
now.
years, not in this 10 years.
I think this 10 years is they already.
I'm okay with that. If you do the Phoenix saga, you do the whole Phoenix storyline later. That's fine with me too. I just don't want X-Men to be like thrown in here and made a small deal out of, right? They need their own space, you know. They need their own space and world.
They'll get a movie, but I don't. They're not going to get that massive. The next saga, if they're going to do like a Dark Phoenix saga, if they're going to do something like that, then they definitely can make X-Men the center focus and lead up to that point with other movies and everything, and have everything lead to that with the whole mutant saga. You know what I'm saying? This right now, we're
so we set up a whole separate group of movies.
Yeah, but that'd be too convoluted for people to be like,
no, because they just go and be like, it's X-Men. It's different than all this other stuff. You know,
the normal Joe is not going to be like, hey, yeah, this is they're not going to do that.
I think they could. Like, you go to the theater and you say, okay, I'm going to go see an X-Men movie. They don't have to bring in the other people into it. It could just be standing on its own.
But then
what the fuck is the point of the MCU?
Because eventually they can tie it in. That's the point of the MCU. They can have nods and clues and hints, right? But it gives the X-Men a chance to tell their own story. Right? Like, if they're just thrown in with all this other stuff, they don't really have a chance to tell their own story. You know, I want to see, like,
as you can tell, there's no X-Men background on for phase 5 here. Okay.
Yes. Which
I did forget about Deadpool. Like, who mentioned it in chat? Vic the Click said Deadpool. They're making a Deadpool movie. Like, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Deadpool 3. I've said in the past that they could introduce Wolverine that way, because you know, Deadpool has a thing for Logan and as Peter Parker. You know, that was like, there's two weird bro crush.
Yeah.
Bromance.
I'm just glad 3-Bit's on my side.
Is he though?
Is he?
I'm in the middle.
He's neutral.
I'm neutral because I do agree with Mav. Like, I do think X-Men is. I've said this. Like, I think X-Men is very important.
That it can't happen.
It's not going to happen with this saga. They've already what has.
I think there's a way to make the stories as impactful and big without having to tie it in with everything else. There's a way.
If they've done it with Mav's route, then I'm all about it. Cool. But I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying what I want to happen.
I don't think we're gonna get 5 movies and 5
See,
TV
yeah, this
shows.
is like the whole Nintendo argument we're having here. Hey, I want Nintendo to be better. You're like, "Oh, Nintendo's never going to be better. That's not what they're about." I don't give a shit. I'm still saying what I want. Now here, this is about what I like. We are here at our retreat, and we're making our pitch, right, for what to happen. Now I don't care about all this realist shit, right? This is what I want to happen. Okay.
Oh, so this is a make believe.
This is a pitch where we are setting the stage. Yes.
Oh, well, that makes
that's the thing. We're setting the stage
different.
for the next
I'm
10 years.
Mr. Disney, and this isn't in our fucking budget. So
There you go.
So, like, the
Spoken.
next 10 years, I am setting the stage. That's what I want most. I want X-Men to have a big importance and not just be relegated to small pieces of this huge puzzle. I want them to feel as big as the Avengers did. Right? However they make that happen, they need to make it happen because I think there's too many important stories to tell within that universe that they can't if they just throw them in here in the mix with what's going on now.
But if they're
That's
going
what I'm
to
getting at.
bring in X-Men, they gotta bring them in now. They can't wait. They can't wait. If you want to introduce X-Men like how they did with Avengers. I mean, look, we got Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and then we saw the Hulk, and that's how we got Avengers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they set it up that way. They haven't done one single X-Men. They have to do something. They got to.
and you can't just like go back to the 80s and be like, oh, look, there's X-Men here this whole fucking time.
No, it's a different Earth in a different universe. So they can because of the they can do whatever the hell they want now because of the whole
Foggy has already
multiverse.
Has said at an interview that he is going to singularly introduce X-Men before an X-Men movie comes out. So it could be 10 years from now before we even see X-Men movie even play out. You know what I'm saying?
So
if they do this saga,
long, man.
I'm just saying.
Wait,
they got X-Men. Well, at least you'll get them individually for a bit, and then
we'll get like a Wolverine.
They'll build up to it.
And
so that's the bad thing about Marvel's thing. Like Marvel has the best problem and the worst problem. The best problem is like, wow, their movies are all tied together. You can watch Moon Knight and you're like, oh, somehow this ties into the universe. You could watch Daredevil, now that's tied. All of it is connected, and it's like a part of a piece of it, part of a puzzle. DC, like, what the heck? It's all like separate stories. Some of it's connected to Snyderverse, and then the rest is like kind of not, but are at the same time. That's just that's a sort of a good problem for them because they could experiment a lot more in DC. With Marvel, you run the risk of like everything has to fall into this phase. But
that's why they do this retreat and plan out the next 10 years.
That's why. But like Feige and them, they're very smart. They're going to introduce it in a way where they can introduce new people to the story and also make it more like the comics, and which we haven't really seen on the screen. So when you do see them on the screen for the first time, you're going to appreciate it, and you're going to forget everything. Probably like when you see Wolverine, Marvel, like MCU's version of Wolverine,
it'll be Wolverine.
It'll be Wolverine. And
also, I think with Marvel, like, you're going to get your few big characters, but they like to put in these fucking people you never heard of, like Strong Guy. We might get a Strong Guy movie. You want that, Mav?
God, no. That's why that's what we get in a show. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think that, you know, I want. Don't get me wrong. I want to see X-Men. Yeah. I want to see this fleshed out, but I just think that how this saga is going to lead up, there's so many components that they got to tell that they can't focus just on X-Men.
No, that's why I said only 5 movies. They got 40. They got 35 other ones. They got 35. They got 35 other ones. You know, to tell other stories, right? Give us 5
if they
X-Men
do
movies,
4 movies every year.
We had 4 actual Avengers movies. Then we also had the Winter Soldier. We also had Captain America: Civil War, right? And we had
3 movies each.
And we also had what was the
Thor will be the first one to have 4 movies, I think.
Yes.
But that's just one character, right?
For Captain America.
Like, So if you
And
take into the components of what they built into the
Iron Man.
Avengers and stuff, I mean, you got 3 Captain America movies, you got 3 Iron Man movies, you got 3 Thor movies, you got 4 Avengers movies, right? You have a Black Widow movie, all this stuff, right? X-Men should be as big as that.
Yeah, but I think there's just too many other like characters that aren't part of the X-Men that they also have to introduce, that they can't just make 5 fucking X-Men. Like you're gonna get your like 3 X-Men movies in the next 10 years, but like 5, I don't know. Like there's just so many other characters that not X-Men related,
right?
And then also all the groups. You got Fantastic Four. Are you gonna give them just one movie?
You got 35. You got now.
movies?
Remember, last Saga we only had 23 movies, right? This one we got 40 plus. Okay.
Yes. So they gotta flesh out all these characters they gotta introduce and set the saga up within these 40 movies. So the last 5 movies are gonna be this battle. That's what I'm feeling. Is that it's this lead up to the battle. So it's either gonna be 2 movies like Endgames, Infinity War Endgames, or
I think
3
we'll do
movies.
at least a trilogy, of the final movie.
Yeah. So we gotta set all these characters up. I mean, we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of Marvel characters if we're gonna go the galactic route.
Right. And I just don't want the X-Men to feel like that.
That's where we get TV shows to introduce them, and then the movie is the big X-Men movie where they're all together.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
we get at least 3 of those and at least 5 shows.
So that's where like with the TV shows, that's where like it makes sense. Like if you really want those characters to be fleshed out, instead of spending time doing 5 movies, you could have a similar budget with the TV shows.
Yeah, but we need I need
like
I need the impactful X-Men movies, right? Like I don't want them.
That's why you okay. Here's how I'm gonna write this down on the whiteboard for you.
Okay,
here's what you do.
All right, Jasper.
So you want the X-Men movie. What we're going to do is we're going to get you a Professor X show. Then we're going to get you a Wolverine show, a Magneto show, a Cyclops show. Who the fuck else knows? Blob show.
Oh,
then
can I get a Gambit show? Please?
You can get a Gambit show.
Okay.
We'll do 6 shows.
Thank you. Gambit wrote.
And then in movie 1, the X-Men unite. And then it's like all those shows come together, all those characters come together in one movie, and they fight Big Bad Man. And then you have 6 more shows where you introduce 6 new X-Men. And then you get X-Men 2, the movie, where you have the first 6 X-Men come with the new 6 X-Men. You get X2, the 12 X-Men.
And then that to me is still impactful, Mav. Like that to me, like it's building.
Yeah,
it's
and then
giving
you do it
time
again, and then the X-Men 3. And so that you got 8, and then you got 18 shows. You got 18 shows and 3 movies. I'm down with that. I don't see
That's what we've been saying.
No, y'all are saying you can't do you're saying, oh no, they can't do any of that.
No, we can't have 10 movies.
You can't have like
you can't do 10 movies.
10 movies, 18 shows. You know what I mean? They got I'll take it. You know, if you give me 18 shows, I'll take 3 movies. Right? I'm down with that.
Okay. So we're on the same page. We're all on the same page.
All right.
Yes.
Jasper, let Kevin Feige know that Mav wants 3 movies but 18 shows.
Okay, make it happen. Send it to Kevin Feige.
Bye, Psycho.
He's gonna go.
The fuck?
Did you go
what was that?
I don't know. You just teleported to another dimension and came back.
He teleported to the Kevin Feige retreat and then he came back.
Literally, it said, "Oops."
And I want all this to happen before I'm 80 years old. You know what I mean?
Think it's Psycho. Now I'm on the other side.
I think this is within 20 years, by the way. This isn't 10 years.
Oh, sorry.
Well, now it's I'm listening. Okay, so 2. Okay, and within the next 10 years, can you promise me 2 movies?
No.
Fucking hell.
We said 10 years.
I said 2.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
10
You
and
get the 6 shows and then 1 movie. And then year 12, you get movie 2.
Within the next 10 years, 2 movies with the actual name X-Men in it.
We'll take it under consideration.
I don't know. Back says 20 years later. Back says he's waiting 20 years. God, he's not Kevin
10
Feige.
years. Let me see. 10 years.
That's 40 movies worth, according to Marvel.
Yes, but
They
They
got
just have
40
so
other
many other
movies.
movies.
They got so many movies.
They're also
coming out.
so behind, like delaying every movie, like at least 3 to
Yeah,
6
yeah,
months,
but
too.
I
They're
know,
so
but
behind.
like, so the saga's gonna drag out longer than they anticipated
In
because
10
of that.
years, I could see maybe like one movie.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
What?
That's what we've
we
been
only know
saying.
like how many have they announced so far? Only like 10?
Because they're gonna build it up first, so I could maybe
Yeah, but we got
see
like
one movie.
30 something plus movies they haven't even announced yet.
Oh,
yeah.
true,
One of those is
true.
probably X-Men.
And there's
One? Come
12 right
on,
behind
for
me.
fuck's sake, really? They're only with 30 movies they got to announce, and
there's
they only gonna
12
come out
behind
with
me,
one
all right?
X-Men movie? Come on. No, remember the saga is made up of like multiple phases, and I would say that these phases are gonna move a lot faster than they did previously. Or not necessarily
Really?
faster, but the phases are going to be a lot bigger, right?
Yeah.
Each phase is going to have a lot more in it. You know what I mean? So, like within this, like I think there's just so much more potential than you guys are thinking, because we only have what we know about right now, which was what was revealed, and that's like what 10 movies or so, right? There's like 30 more plus that we don't even know about yet, and then. We have all the shows. I just think there's enough there. I think they can do it. 3, okay. Fuck it. I'm putting my foot down. If I don't get 3 X-Men movies within the next 10 years,
well then bye, because you're not getting 3 X-Men.
I'm gonna go shit on a bed like Amber Heard. I don't know.
you might as well go shit now.
I'm gonna go shit on Kevin
ain't getting
Feige's bed. That's what I'm gonna go do. If I don't get 3 X, I cut it down from 10 to 3. I'm trying to be fair, okay? If I don't get 3 X-Men movies within the next, so 10 projects, right?
Okay, what happens if you get
Hold on.
0 in the 10
I'll say this: 10 projects, right? Because they got like 6 shows a year right now, right? So that's like 6 shows over the course of like 10 years. That's 60 shows, okay? So then you got like 40 plus movies, maybe 50, right? So you got 50 movies and 60 shows. That's 110 motherfucking things out there, okay? You got 110 projects. You don't give me 10 fucking projects that have to do with the X-Men. I'm going to go shit on your bed, Kevin Feige.
Well, see, you're forgetting you got to get Loki 2 in there. You got to get all these other things. So I'm thinking you're maybe getting 6 to 8 X-Men projects. So you might just want to go take that dump now.
Maybe. I don't know. Where's the retreat at? I'll go fucking shit in his bed right now and say, hey, look, that's going to happen again unless I get it.
Amber Heard, bitch.
And then you see the board, it actually has like 10 X-Men movies.
Yeah, I'll see his board.
Like,
He's got like
sorry.
a Gambit standalone movie and be like, oh, praise you, Kevin Feige.
It's like, sorry, Mr.
Sorry.
Feige.
Let me clean this shit off for you. Let me go buy you some new sheets.
Those are Egyptian cotton.
From Moon Knight.
Egyptian cotton with like Moon
It's
Knight
Egyptian
logos
cotton
all
with
over
Moon
it.
Knight. Yeah, shoot, you said it.
Moon
Yeah,
Knight
I beat you to it, bitch.
My
All
pizza
right.
guy is here.
So I was brave enough to say what I actually want.
I did too. I said I want Doctor Doom to be just, but
Yeah, that's going big.
it is. Doctor Doom is huge.
Okay.
He's bigger than the X-Men. He's like controlled the whole fucking planet and galaxy.
Right.
Yeah,
So
he was in a lot of stuff.
yeah, Doctor Doom's big. Yeah, I'll give it to you there. So you want Doctor Doom in a movie? Is pretty much what you're saying.
In multiple movies, like
He
3
wants.
movies.
He wants.
you want him to
3
be one of the
movies
big
and
bads,
8 shows now.
right?
Yeah.
So we'll make all right. So Jasper's want is to make Doctor Doom one of the big bads of the whole thing, right? Could you say like one of the main components that lead up to the Battle with Galactus aspect?
Yeah.
Type thing. Okay. So another Loki, but like
He
bigger
fights
than
with
Loki, right?
The heroes.
I'm down with that. I approve. I'm not going to shoot
'Cause
down your
that's-
dreams.
You can see the line that they've written for that.
Psycho, now stop being a realist. What do you want?
What I want?
Yes. What
I
do you want?
I want a Deathlock movie. I just want obscured Marvel movies. That's what I want.
Sort
I
of
don't
like
give
the
a-
Sony's making a El Luchador.
No.
So you want 40 like
I don't
little-
want Sony to come anywhere near these movies.
Yeah. You want 40 little shit character movies instead of X-Men movies.
That's
what you're saying.
I thought Shang-Chi was your favorite movie.
Oh, it was great. I love it. No, I'm not gonna say I don't love it. No, I'm just kidding. I get. So you want to see more obscure characters come out?
I'm with Cypher on that.
Yeah.
I like the obscure stuff.
They're doing that right now.
Guardians
I want to get a Weapon X story.
I want fucking Korg the movie.
I want X-23.
Well, hey, if they do a Weapon X movie, that counts as an X-Men movie. So I'm shooting it down.
They could. X-23. I want to see that as a movie. That would be sick. Yeah. X-23 is the little girl.
Yeah.
That's
and Logan.
Yeah.
The gene from Logan they used to make her.
So Psycho, you want to see this is what their path they're already on, right? Because they did it with Shang-Chi. They already had done it before with Guardians, and they're doing it with Moon Knight, right? So,
but Deathlock is more of a. He's just
Deathlock?
like a merc. He's a merc. Yeah,
right.
I like Deathlock. That was like one of the comics I used to read a lot.
So what if they had a Deathlock show?
Oh, I'll fucking go ape shit because holy fuck.
So you're fine with shows?
I'm fine with shows.
Oh, okay.
I don't care. I don't need 10 movies.
I think we can all agree we don't need 10 movies featuring Deathlock as the main character. Now, I will say that even if let's say they did a standalone Deathlock movie, I'd be okay with that. Why not? You know?
I wouldn't mind seeing either an X-Force movie. That would be badass.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do Young Avengers first. If Avengers is probably not gonna come back for a while. They'll do Young Avengers, Dark Avengers. I could see them do. But Avengers, they're gone for a bit.
Big the Click with a $2 super chat. He says, "Thank you, LOL, a Weapon X movie." Yeah, so he wants it too. Didn't they kind of do that with X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds was Weapon 23.
You just want to see a better Weapon X movie, pretty much.
Basically that movie, but better.
And it wasn't the sequel. They had the other Weapon X. They had X-23 in the sequel to that too, didn't they? In Japan.
They had. Wow, I forgot.
The Japan one.
They
was a robot, wasn't
it?
Logan.
There was a girl in one of those that sliced people up and shit. I don't remember.
X-Men 2.
No,
oh, she just had fingernail claws or whatever.
Lady Striker.
Okay.
Lady Striker.
Was the lady? It was
3-bit?
Not Lady Death.
Lady
It wasn't Lady
Strike?
Death. Now, what about Lady Death? Let's get a Lady Death up in here. Gotta like those blue women.
Nebula?
You just play Mass Effect.
No.
Liara? You gonna put Liara in there?
No, Lady Death.
So they're telling me I'm right. Chat. Thanks, guys. See, these guys don't even fucking know what they're talking about when it comes to X-Men. Fuck that. You know, we're gonna.
No, I'm not talking. No, hold on. That's not who we were talking about. We're talking about the girl with the long fingernails. That was in X-Men 2. That is not X-23. Her name is Lady something. I don't know what her name is, but it has Lady in it. And I'm gonna look it up right now.
Yeah, the whole thing with Logan was
Ryan Reynolds.
Logan was in the bed, and they were making her next to him. He got out and shit, and then they made her as a super weapon to take him out.
Lady Deathstrike.
See.
Yeah.
Lady Death. Oh yeah.
Lady Deathstrike.
I don't remember which one it was.
The
It
blue
was
chick?
2 or was there 3? The third one was Logan, right?
There was Origins, the one in Japan, and then Logan, the old man one.
Okay, so in the Japan one, there's a girl that they made her, I think, or unless it was in Origins, and it was
Origins was with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, but they made a girl too. They made a girl too. I remember they experimented on one and made her. I think it just had already been done.
X-23. There's Deadpool. There's Lady Deathstrike and Logan. I can't think of anyone else that was in that program.
If they're gonna do Wolverine, they got to bring Omega Red.
Yeah, of course.
So where are you gonna bring that? Is how you're gonna introduce a new Black Widow?
We'll add one more movie to the list then from F.
Thank you. I'll take all of that. All I can get. Logan is the one with the little girl is X-23. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the little girl's X-23 and the girl's Lady Death or whatever. Lady Finger
Lady
Claws.
Deathstrike.
Lady Deathstrike. All right.
Yeah.
3-bit.
Oh,
Huh?
you know what? Before 3-bit
What
goes,
am I doing?
want to add an X-Men movie. Colossus versus Juggernaut. I don't want that. That's an X-Men movie
I'm
for you.
saying what movie I want to
Yeah,
see.
So now y'all are just adding in movies like it's candy and making it's okay all of a sudden.
Well, that's what you've been doing the whole time, so why not us?
Well, y'all shot it down for me, and now you're putting these obscure ones in there, not even the fucking big ones. Like, let's have like fucking like super powered chick 5000 whatever movie. Why don't we have her?
Colossus and Juggernaut, not the big ones.
Super Omega. What's her name? Like, fuck, I can't remember. Like, oh, God, the Omega Lady Death Fire Punch Fist or the one from Deadpool.
Lady Death Fister. There we go.
What's her name?
Omega.
Teenage.
Isn't it like
teenage.
What's her powers?
Like Teenage Ultra Power Hunger Force Queen.
Negasonic.
I don't know.
The Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yes, that one. Yeah, that. Why don't we make a standalone movie for her? That would be fucking fantastic. Why don't we make a standalone movie for the guy that just jumped out of the airplane and splatted on the ground?
As big as Gambit, or not bigger.
What was his name? Gary, whatever the fuck his name was. Was it Gary, the guy that just jumped out of a plane and died? Huh? Why don't we make a standalone movie for that fuck?
Right,
he was part of
Gary.
the X-Force, huh?
That's
Yeah.
X-Force. No, that was Deathpool's like made up X-Force. That wasn't real X-Force.
Yeah.
That was like, all right, we're X-Force, just because.
Yeah. So am I just listing movies I would like to see?
Yeah.
See, the Back from Dead's like, it's okay if they add more. Just remember, I'm always wrong. 100%. Yeah. I learned this from my wife a long time ago. I just didn't expect it to spread to my panel. All right, what do you want? 3-bit?
movies...
10 years. Anything. Like, from the MCU.
The movies I want are kind of the ones that are announced. I would love to see a Deadpool kills everything movie. That could be like the fourth movie or something. And is like they do Deadpool 3 and Deadpool kills everything.
That's an X-Men movie.
Yeah. Because that would be amazing. I explained the story on that one, but it's what it sounds like. He kills everybody in the Marvel universe. I would love to see. I mean, again, the ones I really want to see are ones they're doing right now. Like, I really want to see Secret Wars on the screen, because that's when Spider-Man gets his black suit. That's when you have Avengers and X-Men and like
Ghost Rider movie.
Ghost Rider's there too. All together fighting and in outer space with the Skrulls. Like, I just want to see that on the big screen. That would be amazing.
Ooh, like Ghost Rider 2, Cosmic Ghost Rider, the movie. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, Ghost Rider would be cool. I would like to see Daredevil, like a Daredevil movie. We've seen it in a TV show. I would like for him to he teams up with like certain characters, and I would like to see that. Like, Daredevil is usually like Elektra. He's with Punisher. He teams up with Spider-Man sometimes. I would like to see that in a movie. I think that would be sick. And something we haven't seen before.
We've seen him team up with Elektra and with the Ben Affleck Daredevil movies back in the day.
He was also in a TV show.
Y'all want to go ahead and make those canon too, since you want to make the Fox things canon? You know, you want to make those old Daredevil movies canon?
Never.
I mean, the Spider-Man movie was, so why not?
That's true.
Yeah, I guess those are
those are Sony. Those were decent, like, except for the third one.
But yeah, those are movies I would like to see. I would like just to see though, like, the Netflix characters. I want to see movies out of them. I want to see them actually interact with the MCU universe. All the other movies, I am sort of already getting the ones I want. Like Secret Invasion, I would love to see. I would love to see maybe a what is it? They're like an X-Men group. I guess it's X-Force. With like Black Spot and stuff. I don't know what that's called. Is that X-Force?
I just hope that, like, in the next 10 years of movies, we focus less on like the basic human heroes and more like actual powered people. Like, I don't give a shit about Hawkeye at this point. Like, maybe one like normal human movie, but like all the rest, make them actually powered people.
Right.
Sunspot. So
you want like the everyday humans that are either like build suits and shit, or like that are talented with a bow and arrow to like not be able to
Fuck
compete
off.
with
Yeah.
gods.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yep. But yeah, those are the movies I basically want to see. I basically just want them to flesh out the characters we have kind of seen in the shows, and I want to see them in the movies. And they're really good at bringing characters to light. Like I see so many people like, oh, I love Moon Knight now. He's been, a comic book character for so long. And Guardians of the Galaxy, like I hated their comics. Their comics are trash. But their movies are awesome, and it made me love the story. So I'm sure they're going to do that with a lot more stories. They're going to bring characters that not a lot of people care about to light and then make them popular. That's what they did with Iron Man. I know it's hard to think about now, but Iron Man was not a big character before the MCU. Spider-Man was, X-Men was, Iron Man was not.
No.
So,
but RDJ made that character, so
yeah, he really did.
Yeah, same thing with the people, with all the actors from Guardians of the Galaxies. That the writing and the characters fleshed it out such in a great way that got people excited, because Guardians of the Galaxy comics weren't very popular at all, and all of a sudden movies came out, boom, they got very popular just because of I mean, fuck, they got a video game that's probably one of the best Marvel video games put out.
Yeah, that game is awesome.
It didn't sell well.
Finish it.
Yeah,
according to Square Enix, I still
it
sold pretty well. Square Enix's standards are freaking weird.
Yeah. If it doesn't sell 40 million copies, it's trash. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that has always been weird to me. Like Square Enix is just not like their American division, and they are like they make it known.
They can't do better than their East counterparts. They can't. You know what I'm saying?
But sometimes, like, let's just say, like, let's say Guardians or is Tomb Raider underneath Square Enix too, or
Yeah,
it's Crystal Dynamics.
Square owns Tomb Raider.
They were not happy about the sales on that game either, and it sold pretty dang well. So anything that's just not Final Fantasy, like that's always been really weird to me.
No, if it's not Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or some kind of Secrets of Mana, Legends or something, it's just RPGs. If it's not an RPG, a JRPG, it doesn't. They think it's a failure, no matter how well it does. It's just weird, but I know we'll see how this resort goes and takes place. What news we'll get from it? What news will be leaked from it? Because some motherfucker is like, someone's gonna pay me big bucks for this. Because the people are probably going to be.
Yeah, but I just don't understand if it's like the 10 years of like from now, or if it's like the next 10 years after the Phase 4.
Right. Are they planning this next 10 years or the 10 years after that? Because they've already got to have like it lined up already for most of this next decade.
I think it's Phase 5, 6.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what they're planning.
Super chat.
Possibly 7.
Yeah, let's get to the super chat. So, from John TJ, thanks, bro. Appreciate you. $5. Says, hi guys, I didn't know the podcast was playing on my phone. I'm sitting in the hot tub. Xbox needs to go get Steam. Well, I guess you got plenty of Steam in that hot tub right now, TJ. But yeah, Xbox, that would be awesome if we had some kind of crossover at least. Like, I think that Steam should come to Xbox as a standalone storefront within the options of the dashboard.
Did they confirm they're doing something?
I mean, Steam Deck, you have Game Pass on there now, right? With access to those games. So, like, why not have access to Steam games on Xbox? And like Jasper was saying, if you had like that whole ecosystem there, like even the games that require mouse and keyboard, like I think a lot of PC gamers may actually just go get an Xbox instead of a PC if they have full functionality on it when they're looking at their budget. You know what I mean about what they're getting next. So
what they'll do is they'll get their girlfriends a Series S so they can game with them with PC games.
It'd be like a Steam box.
And if you like it, hey babe, you like it? Before we buy you a $3,000 PC that can run this game.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, John TJ again with another $5 super chat. Thanks, TJ. It says, your Steam library on Xbox. Yeah, that would be awesome. Who knows? It could happen sometime. Shout out to Spooky Sprocket, TJ, Trinity,
Spooky.
everybody hanging out. Yeah, I think I mean, man, here's the thing. I told you guys in the DMs there's gonna be some debate on this shit, right? Because
we debated it already tonight.
Yeah, I love it though. It's okay. I just want like awesome stuff.
Thinking about it now that we've all calmed down, like, do you think X-Men is even wasn't even in their plans since they didn't buy them till like recently? Like, I'm assuming they've had to rearrange a lot of their plans to get
for sure
even Professor X. Like,
Kevin Feige's talked about it, and he has gone and said that's where he said that he's not going to flesh out an X-Men movie right away. He wants to introduce characters first before he fleshes out the X-Men movie. And that's all he'll say.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if there's going to be standalone X-Men movies for like characters.
No, they will be.
Right? Like
Wolverine is 100% more than likely a Cyclops, because he really hasn't gotten the justice with the X-Men. I mean, because he was the leader of the X-Men, Cyclops. So Cyclops, Jean Grey were like the two leaders, and then Wolverine.
Wolverine was kind of like an outcast, kind of that came in and is kind of like didn't really like a lot of them, but like also at the same time he kind of started fitting in over time, right? Like,
I'm just wondering if they're gonna like bump like the Wasp and put like Wolverine there instead, like just to like speed up maybe the X-Men.
Yeah, move this. Hold on. This one out of the way.
Like put that like
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Here's the thing though, they got to do for me what they did originally with like the Avengers cast. You got to have these key characters. You got to have long-term contracts with some of those guys. Like when introducing Wolverine for the first time, you can't like go and we're gonna make a one movie deal with this new Wolverine, or like same thing with Professor X, or same thing with Cyclops, or all those guys. Storm.
I think that's why Professor X, they're introducing him in the Multiverse of Madness as the Illuminati, so they can just get rid of him in the next movie and be like, he was just in the Illuminati. He wasn't like dealing with the X-Men. He was already ahead of that,
I think I know Feige and Marvel came out and said that they're not going to do the multi-contractual deals anymore.
Yeah.
But they possibly
they got to make some exceptions here and there, right? For certain roles, you would think.
Correct.
Not necessarily. I mean, they could just get rid of a character or replace them with.
Yeah, but you don't want to get rid of like a Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like
there's probably key characters that you can't get rid of, like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man prior to Endgames. You couldn't get rid of him. He was too iconic. He was.
Yeah, but then I'm saying like
now is different.
Like after Iron Man 2, like they technically could have just made some bullshit storyline up, like he's retiring and just giving his suit away to some like other kid, smart kid. Like they could have done that and be like, see, now you got this new Iron Man. So there's ways around like just replacing characters.
Yeah, but that would piss off so many people.
It would, but that's how they get out of their multi-contract deals.
Right. I just don't. That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't want that. Like I want to see the same Wolverine over the course.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm just saying like that's how they're going to do it if they went out.
Yeah. We'll see. I think I'm hoping they'll do long-term deals for some of the castings, right? Like Simu Liu, I would love to see him like return for multiple movies as Shang-Chi, I mean, this was like his first big role for anything. So I wouldn't think it'd be like hard to lock him up to like 3 Shang-Chi movies. You know what I mean?
I think we'll see him at the end credits of Doctor Strange.
Think so?
Because he's with
I think we'll see Wolverine.
Wong.
You think we'll see Wolverine at the end credits of Doctor Strange?
Yeah, because in the past we've seen Hugh Jackman like talking with Kevin Feige in photos and stuff, and Wolverine's not in anything that we know of. So
you think it's going to be Hugh Jackman's Wolverine?
I think we're getting a cameo of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
So how is they going to do that? Have that?
Hold on.
X-Men and then go back and cast a new Wolverine.
Black Panther.
No.
Why not? Why can't he be in Black Panther?
Because
They both have claws.
His sister is replacing Black Panther because what's his name died as him.
Yeah, but well, that's if they don't.
So you're just saying just put all the people that are named after animals in one movie, like
reincarnate? No, we'll reincarnate.
And the Wasp.
And we can put Hawkeye in there too.
Well, Warmonger. Listen, motherfuckers. They put Warmonger as Black
What about
Panther.
Beast? That Beast could be in
Black
there too.
Widow is another insect.
No, I'd rather have Sabretooth and Wolverine fight it out. Brothers at arms.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Nightcrawler could be in there too, you know.
I don't know if they will have Wolverine at Doctor Strange, but we don't know until
I think like there'll be a small cameo of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, like just like maybe walking through like the
2 weeks
place that Patrick Stewart's in.
Doesn't it come out in 2 weeks?
Yeah, it comes out the 5th.
It was something at the beginning, the first mid.
Man, early May is gonna be fucking awesome.
Already, Doctor Strange comes out.
Yeah.
Pretty
I'm
soon.
going May 8th to see it. So.
Yeah. So like so we got Halo season 2 starting on May the 3rd, and then right after that we got Doctor Strange. And when does the next show start for Marvel?
That's She-Hulk, which is in June, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we still have to finish up Hawkeye now. I mean, not Hawkeye, Moon Knight. So.
Moon Knight.
Because Obi-Wan is in May. That's their May show.
Yeah.
So.
Man, holy crap. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, shout out to TJ. Hit us with another $2 super chat. Going back to the Steam conversation. It says pay a $5 fee for it. Maybe so. Maybe that would work. I don't know. Maybe no fee. Just have access to your library of the games that you bought. Who knows? We'll see. Don't put it behind it.
You can pay for a trial for your Steam library.
Yeah, just don't put it behind the highest tier of a subscription service.
Yeah. And give us 2 hour demos
about that on the show, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk a lot about that probably on Friday on Xbox Ultimate. But do you guys have any thoughts? I mean, we've already been going for a while, but like, do you have any thoughts on the last Halo episode, because it was so fucking epic? Now that we've all seen it,
it was amazing.
Awesome.
Oh, episode 5. Holy crap, dude! Episode 6. I forget the guy's name. That was if you guys watched the Halo live stream today, he's like, episode 5 was freaking amazing. Episode 6, just wait. That's all he said. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm like, all right, it better be good. If he's freaking...
We better get some more battles in episode 6.
I'm thinking
it's like they can't go back from that now to like have him walk around his old house and be like, ooh, what was over there? I don't remember. Did I used to have a table over there? Well, I don't remember. Cortana, can you help me?
They have to go get that artifact now. So it's like it's an all-out war because
they're going to take the chick back to Reach. So I'm wondering if we're going to get the Reach battle.
And Glass Reach.
Maybe it'll be a Reach battle starts, right?
Because that's where they need the
at the end of it, the Reach battle starts. Yeah, like you see a Covenant Corvette come in.
Because that should be the next destination for them, right?
Pretty much.
Because that chick's going to go back to Reach, get debriefed. She's going to alert the Covenant. The Covenant's going to come in, and then the last episode is going to either end with them seeing Halo Ring or landing on it, maybe.
I don't know.
Well, based on the previews, it seems like she's going to try and gain his trust, and then she's
going to show him her ass.
Yeah, are they just going to be like, all right, I'll show you mine.
I got an ass, yours. You got an ass. Let's show him.
She's going to show him the finger.
She's going to twerk on him. Like, what's up?
No.
What's up, Chief?
No.
Yeah.
He's going to
take your helmet off. Oh, wait, it's already off because it never goes on. Here's my ass.
Finger, sword.
Finger?
Guys,
what?
you guys got me. Shoot. The finger sword thing that she has.
Fingernail sword?
Yeah. And then she's like, look, I'm like you. And then she's going to show him that.
Chief is going to be like, I can show you how to remove that, but we got to take off all our clothes first and go in the bathroom.
What? Do you think she's going to turn on the Covenant?
No.
No.
That could be a twist.
She has to really see something.
Oh, maybe she's going to kiss like Chief because she liked that kiss, that one boy or whatever.
When they were kids or whatever. Oh, so you think that's why they showed that, is like they're gonna loop it around where she has some human connection?
Yeah,
and that was like,
I think she's gonna
Maybe.
turn on
Then-
them, and then she's gonna they're gonna utilize her to gain knowledge about the Covenant.
Yeah,
Yeah, possibly.
they
like,
could.
what they're
Because
trying to do.
they said, yeah, go ahead.
That's how they learn about Halo. Is from
Yeah,
her.
in the previews they were like saying that she like they were going after the artifact, so I'm sure they're gonna ask her some questions and she's gonna give them some real answers and some fake ones. So
Yeah.
Yeah, if she doesn't have any of her hunter buddies, so she can't just walk into Reach and.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's going in there vulnerable. That's why they didn't want to let her go, right? And because they didn't want to let her go, leads me to think that like I suspect that maybe she will potentially be vulnerable to turning sides when she sees like humanity, because she's been like with some weird like alien dudes for like her whole life, pretty much. You know what I mean? So now she's gonna be like with humans and stuff. And maybe she's gonna see the other side of it. And
Once she realizes the great journey is a lie.
right.
Oh,
or like what Spooky just said, that she's related to Chief in some
If they
way.
do that, I'm gonna fucking
They
shit on that.
freaking the Luke Skywalker thing. I hope not.
yeah. I'm Palpatine. What? Get the fuck out of here.
Maybe
No.
you know, maybe Spooky's onto something. Maybe because, you know, maybe she's able to interact with them, and
She's
Chief
a blessed one. Chief is a blessed one.
Yeah, maybe they have some kind of like weird relation or something. You know.
And then make a
Connection
blessed
one.
one child. A super soldiers / alien tentacle worm monster chick.
Well, she doesn't have the worms are a
She
different
doesn't have
thing.
worms. It was,
Yeah.
it was
Oh, I thought they came out of her.
no, she doesn't have worms.
No, she just controls the worms.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she like it came out of her hand. Man, that was.
It came out of her sleeve in her clothes. That must have been
Yeah, the worms got
uncomfortable.
real close, but they weren't part of her.
Yeah, that must have been like
Oh, okay.
squirming
See,
up
I
and down her
thought she was
back,
like,
and when she's
What
walking
the
in that
fuck
robe.
are they
it's-
nesting in her? You know? Like,
Yeah, no.
Halo's going weird.
Yeah, I
didn't think
I don't know where she'd hide all those worms. Those are some pretty big worms. You know?
Well, did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's why we got the shot before of her ass.
Yeah,
Why
it's just to let us know that she doesn't have any hidden worms. Okay.
No worms up.
So there's a purpose
My-
for the ass.
Yeah, that's the hiding spot. For
Well,
the
I hope
worms.
when they said like, "Hey, just wait for episode 6," it's not just a lot of ass. You know?
They keep doing that each episode. I'm like, wow, okay.
Well,
This
they didn't
has
do
to
it in
be-
episode 5. They took a break from
Yeah.
from it.
Take a break. Yeah.
Yeah, they took a break from the ass.
We'll see. Maybe they'll go back to it. We haven't
we
seen
got to
two-
see at least one more ass.
Well, we still got 2 more Spartans' asses to expose that are there with Silver Team. So we're waiting for that to happen. Because you know when they're going to remove their pellets eventually, we're going to see some ass, right? So that's going to probably happen. And then maybe like there'll be some.
Well, they got to take a hot shower after this big battle they just had, so we might get to see a bunch of asses of all the Marines next week. or
You
this
think
week.
so? Yeah, I got to clean all
Maybe.
those guts off and stuff, you know. But
Yeah.
wait, how are
Oh
they?
yeah, Master Chief, he was pissed at that.
Yeah, he went all fucking Doom guy in that
Ooh,
fucking
yeah.
Covenant Elite.
That's how he's supposed to be. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not super. He's more controlled with his emotions.
Man, the
for
more
part in
the
the
more
books and stuff,
episodes I see
but-
though, 3-bit, the more I'm liking him as Chief, dude. He's like really owning it, you know.
No, I've always liked him as Chief. I just wanted them to show his face. less.
The only thing I had was him going after Halsey. Was the only thing I'm like, why would you, I know he's pissed, but he wouldn't lunge at Halsey like that. You know
You
what
don't
I'm
think
saying?
so? Actually, just an
I think
immediate
that's out of.
emotional reaction.
I'm like, yeah, I don't think he'll lunge at her. He would walk up to her and intimidate the fuck out of her. Like, I could squeeze your head and kill you right now.
So you
And,
think
you know-
that was like out of his character?
A little bit was out of Chief's character, just a bit with the lunge. If he walked up to her and was like, just I fucking her, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then, her saying, hey, Cortana, neutralized Chief, and then he's all fine after that because the battle was more precedent than I just finding out my life was a lie. You know what I mean? So it was just a little off why he was so pissed, and now he was okay with everything. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I agree. I do think he had a valid reason to launch at her. Like, I think.
Yeah, it was just, but it was just out of Chief's character.
I'm wondering if
Chill's
we may not even get the Reach battle. We may Chief may learn that Keys is also hiding information and just run away and try to find the artifact for himself, and that leads him to the ring. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean they could do. There's a lot of takes. We'll see how tonight episode goes.
I still don't know where the storyline's going with the girl and Thick Chappelle. Like I don't know where that's going yet.
I just think that's one of those.
It's got to tie in at some point back together.
She's going to help the revolution for humans, going up against the Covenant. And she's going to unionize all of them.
They said that there was samurais in the desert that said her dad was special, so I'm assuming that she has to have something special about her, but I just don't know what that is.
I'm wondering I'm wondering if she's going to be a subject to the new Spartan program at some point.
You're really low.
Hello?
Your mic. Okay. Yeah.
Is it back?
Yeah,
it's back.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm saying I'm wondering if she's going to potentially be a candidate for a future Spartan program.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe she's like Sarah Palmer or whatever, Spartan 5 or whatever from Halo 4.
Yeah. Something like that. It's some way to progress it to that point. Right.
But she's real whiny, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, she's very determined. I'll give her credit for that. She doesn't give up on anything. So
I'm glad they did a really good casting in this show. I really like Halsey. I really like who they chose for Chief. I really like Miranda Keys. Her father's like a mixture of Sergeant Johnson and
yeah, he is kind of, isn't he? It's like they got rid of Johnson. It's like he's both.
Yeah, it seems like he's a little bit of both.
I wonder when we're gonna meet him.
Well, we don't know if he's even in the Silver timeline.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Johnson is an iconic, but he is an iconic character. So if you're gonna have all their iconic characters from Blue timeline, Johnson might be there. Just saying, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm glad they showed the grunts, and I for some reason didn't think they were going to show the grunts either.
And jackals. We got grunts and jackals in that episode.
Yeah, jackal with the little sword that was slicing everyone.
Do you know how awesome if they just had the birthday grunt cheat on, and he popped the grunt's head all here. Yay! Confetti went everywhere.
Now that would be awesome, except for people that have no clue what the hell's going on with the with the games. Would be like, what the hell is that?
I think
they could just do a blooper.
We need to see a grunt once he kills an elite, just grunts drop and run away or something, screaming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh God, no!
And I want to see
I want to see the
suicidal. Yes, they show up with the plasma grenades. Have we seen any plasma grenades yet? Any stickies?
Yes. I thought it was their first battle when they were throwing grenades. I thought the Covenant were throwing grenades.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I think so.
The very first battle, on the episode.
I don't know.
On Madrigal.
Possibly.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah, because that's how the kids got fucking blown up. He threw a plasma right.
I thought he just went in there with his plasma rifle, just swinging back and forth, holding down the trigger.
No, when the kids were getting high. And
that was a plasma rifle blowing the head off. That wasn't a grenade.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he threw because I thought a whole bunch of them just fucking died. But I could be wrong.
I think they kept shooting them with the plasma with the plasma rifles.
Okay.
But it's cool effects seeing those kids bodies just evaporate cool. And shit. That's weird. I was like, okay, this is going there. All right, this is gonna be all right. Then we've seen a lot of ass, and now we've seen lots of fights and bodies chopped in half and stuff, and grunts getting kicked in the face. I was hoping though. Tell me anybody else. Were y'all hoping that Chief hijacked the Banshee and didn't just bring it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping he was. That's what I thought he was doing.
Yeah.
Because he was sitting there popping
And
caps.
then he just like pulled the wing and like turned it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if he killed the
maybe he has. Remember Halo 1, you didn't know how to hijack yet, so maybe that's a feature in the season 2.
I really liked how like you saw like the jackal that had his like body like split in half and his guts hanging out. He was like crawling away. Like that was really awesome.
That's nice.
Okay.
And you did guys see the when they introduced the worm chick, the hunter?
Yeah, his leg.
I'm waiting for the hunters to be shown.
Yeah, and that was probably what I've seen people saying is that brute was Atriox. A lot of people think.
I don't think so, but
you don't think so.
They're saying a young Atriox
because it could fit. Like he used to serve the Covenant, so it could be around here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was the other one?
Tartarus was Halo 2.
Yeah, Tartarus, because he had the
Tartarus
gravity hammer that
was they able could pull artifacts.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
That's why I thought it was Tartarus.
I think it's just a random brute
either.
But
so there was like some leaked like dialogue or whatever, and I think for the episode, and I think they had the name Atriox in there.
Well, if they do, we'll find out tonight.
That to me, that's just so.
Oh, it's
weird,
out tonight.
Yeah, at 3 a.m.
3 a.m. 3-bit.
Ah, dang it! I gotta stay up.
Yeah.
All right, I'll stay up to watch it.
Go to sleep now and wake up at
3
in the morning, and just stay up, and then go to bed at crack of noon, and then wake up again at like I don't know 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
I have like work at like 9. I could do it. I'm gonna do it for Halo.
Or just wake up an hour before you go to work or whatever and watch it.
Yeah, that's always an option.
Okay.
Or you could watch it while you're driving to work. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
He's traveling on I-95.
Watch out! I'm trying to watch the show.
And hey, I just want to say thanks to the chat, everybody, for tuning in. This was a fun show. And I'm glad we all came to the conclusion that they need 10 X-Men movies and 10 X-Men shows at the end of the day. And that Halo is awesome. This show is really picking up some steam. And yeah, you guys rock. Appreciate you, chat. Very active chat with the discussion on the MCU tonight. Like I freaking love that as well. And hey, we'll make sure everybody knows where to find these awesome guys who try and shoot down my dreams. 3-bit. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Everyone can find me on the Twitters, the Bird app, at i3bit. So that's how you guys can find me. I'll see you guys on the next episode. It's a good show. We got some good turnout here. I really appreciate y'all. My girlfriend's watching too, so shout out to you. And
hey, Izzy.
She's so Izzy. And y'all take care now. Y'all take care.
Oh, that's why 3-bit was wanting to avoid the ass talk earlier.
Yeah.
I would have avoided it.
He has to skip those scenes.
Yes.
Thanks, Dreadpool. Appreciate you, bro. Jasper, the realist, the amazing one, the lore master. Where can everybody find you?
You can check me out at Lore Jasper on the Bird app and Lore Master Jasper on YouTube. Mondays is FSP 6 p.m. Wednesday FunPop 7 p.m. And Xbox Ultimate is Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. All on the Fun Speculation channel. Check it out and hang out. Yeah.
We have exclusive rights for the lore master here as of right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I am guesting on a show in a couple weeks, so.
What show?
Oh.
Are you allowed to say yet?
I don't know. I haven't asked him if I should say. But...
Okay, so tell us after.
Yeah.
And we have Psychonauts, the mellow fellow, the guy who eats vitamins like they're candy. The guy who also doesn't believe in the X-Men. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I just want to say, chat, you guys were on fire tonight. Thank you for coming out. It was awesome to see everyone that came out and
Breebis.
Sorry, no, that was a hiccup. Holy shit!
Thanks everybody who came out pre-pissed.
And, yeah, shit,
That's great.
it's kicking in.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus
find me
Christ.
everywhere, social media, Psychonauts. Holy fuck. Whoa. Okay, this stuff's kicking in.
Okay.
All
right.
You can follow Psycho on the Bird app. His Twitter is at Psychonauts. Was it 8?
Yeah.
At
Yes,
Psychonauts 8.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you can follow him there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. And everybody's
Woo.
information is in the description below as well. And if you want to tune into some more awesomeness, tomorrow we're having PM in the PM on this channel at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a blast. We have Pong Soul and I show is Thursdays, and we're going to have 2 guests this week. It's the first time we've ever had 2 guests on the show. Not only are we going to have Rand Thor 19 tomorrow, which I've already announced is going to be pretty awesome, but we're going to have the second half of Living Split Screen as well. So the one and only Steel Rain, the raw, uncut Steel Rain, is going to be there as well tomorrow with Rand. So we're going to have a 4-person show tomorrow on PM in the PM. It's going to be freaking awesome. I hope everybody tunes in. And then Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time is an Xbox Ultimate Podcast where you'll see these guys. If 3-Bit probably won't be there, but you'll see the other 2 for sure. And then we'll also
Psycho may pre-piss before
maybe he'll pre-piss before the show, and then you'll see the awesome panel. That
You
we
don't
have,
know.
Guys. This great panel we have Friday night is we're gonna have a blast. We got a lot to talk about Fridays, especially this week because Xbox is killing it, and yeah,
Can't say that.
no, I'm not allowed to pom, right? So, guys, and also Monday's FSP at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So check that out, guys. Appreciate you all. You rock. Bye, everybody.
Don't forget to
FunPop.